All right, all right, all right. So, hey everyone, welcome back to our next exciting adventure of the Song of the Wilds.
Yay!
I was here the whole time.
Yes, Coco was definitely here the whole time and not installing Windows
Back,
updates.
everybody!
Yeah.
Everybody in the comments say hi to Lauren because we missed her so much.
Yes, we did.
Welcome back.
And totally didn't just leave the party like a certain bird.
Oh!
Oh. I don't know what you're
Still
talking
not
about.
over that.
No, nobody is.
There will be as a sort of petty revenge, we will return to that village and I will force Coco to have a conversation with Yip.
There will be a reckoning.
All right. Well, for those of us joining us right now, I am Evan. I am the Dungeon Master, and Song of the Wilds is my homebrew campaign using 5e rules here. This is also the first time that I've ever actually been a Dungeon Master, but I got a story in me, and it is begging to come out. And these are all these hopeless fools who thought it would be a good idea to give a first-time Dungeon Master like me a shot. We are now officially...
Like, here we are.
We are now officially 42 episodes in, which I know I keep saying how shocked I am, but I do keep getting shocked. And it's going to keep going as we add on more episodes.
You should
Now hold on,
start
Carly,
wearing
I'm
some
not
rubber.
done yet. I will signal to you when it's time. I do have some announcements just to kind of get things started. First things first. This one's more of an announcement to everyone else, the players here, and not so much the audience. I am going to make executive decision and say that we will not be playing next week, because next weekend is when Carly and I are going to get our second dose of the vaccine for COVID. Right. And we just want to make sure that if it requires a little bit of extra time for us to recover from the side effects, we're going to be taking a break time that weekend. So
and I'm getting mine on the 16th, my second dose. So
so are we.
My first is the 15th.
Can I?
I got mine
Not
on
yet.
Thursday. I got my second dose on Thursday.
It has to do with that, though.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah. So, I've heard a lot of people saying a lot of, crap about the vaccine, and yes, it is new and everything. However, all of the men in my family, are immune compromised. I haven't seen my brother since July 4th. Because he doesn't want to be around anybody right now, because 2 years ago he had a collapsed lung, and with my dad and my stepdad, they both have health problems, so I haven't basically seen my family in like a fucking year. So do your part, get the vaccine. That's all. That's my PSA.
He did. I could see 5G. I'm just kidding. No.
I've been doing that for a while now. Catch up, guys.
What, seeing 5G here in colors? Woo!
Yeah.
But I am very excited because on sometime in May, we're actually having what my mom calls a vaccine party. Because after that, everybody in my family will have had, I think it's like 2 weeks after you get the vaccine that you're supposedly like in the clear or something like that. I don't know all of the science behind it, so I might be wrong. But that's like, we're having like a huge family party, and I'm very excited about it.
Now that being said, though, and speaking of a couple weeks, like I said, we're going to be taking a break next weekend, so there won't be any session next Sunday. However, the Sunday after, this has been a long time coming, and I've already made an announcement for this, but the Sunday after next, most likely, we will finally be playing Untitled Goose Campaign.
It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time coming, but I finally got this one shot designed and ready to go. Here's the thing, though. In order to make sure that this stays a one shot and doesn't just go completely off the rails to an unmanageable degree, I have to make the unfortunate hard decision that while all of you are wonderful, only 4 people here will get to play this one shot. So when we're at a certain point, I am going to ask everyone to make dice rolls in our new dice roll channel in our Discord, and the 4 people with the 4 highest rolls, those will be the people that will play Untitled Goose Campaign. Unfortunately, this is going to be a one-time thing, but who knows what may happen, and there will be other one-shots in the future.
Yes.
Really,
we've had the art for this campaign made. How many months ago did I finish the Untitled Goose art?
I didn't know you finished it. You never. Wait, did you post it?
No, I sent it to Evan only.
Okay.
I asked Izzy to keep it just in confidence between the two of us until the day comes when we can actually play it.
It is still in secret.
I was about to lose my mind.
No,
yeah, I hacked the Song of the Wilds account and posted it a while ago. Like,
what? Oh, I didn't notice that.
But yes, 4 lucky players here will be the lucky chosen to actually participate in this one shot. For those of you who don't know, Untitled Goose Campaign is a 20s style gangster heist one shot that takes place possibly in the same universe as Song of the Wilds, maybe in its own little world. Who's to say, really? And essentially, everyone are going to be Goose Arakakwa. That is my only requirement. I'm super excited. Let's see. Vaccinations, the one shot, not playing next week. Are there any other announcements?
I am wearing something very special today.
Why don't you stand up, Carly?
What is it?
I'm about to show, and then I'm gonna give it over to Izzy, because Izzy will be able, since Josh isn't here, to tell everybody where to go to get this. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably my new favorite hoodie because it's ridiculously comfortable. But oh shit. Okay, there we go. Hold on. I don't know if you can see with the lighting in my living room.
No, we can see. We can see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So yeah, we have merch.
Here, this
We
is probably
have
better.
merch. We have
There
all
we go.
kinds of merch.
Oh, and the Hemington in the chat says, "Hi, Greyblades."
Hello.
I haven't
Hello.
But I guess I'll take it away. So Song of the Wilds has merch. It has all kinds of merch. We got blankets, we got sweatshirts, we got mugs, and we got t-shirts. As well as that, we also have stickers and keychains and magnets and more.
Hello.
If you go to...
It's and what's it's.
I have the link here.
I know you sent me the link, Izzy. I just can't find it right now.
Here, I'm just gonna repeat it back into the links thing.
I am going to make a post about this on the Instagram tomorrow as well.
Yes, I have the art for that in the fans.
I
channel.
have had it saved. I've just been very busy
Great.
this week.
Great. But anyways, if you guys, so you go to linktr.ee/Song of the Wilds, and all the links of Song of the Wilds is there. We have the merch
It's and what's it.
links. We have the Instagram. We got the Twitters. We have
Hell yeah.
where we live stream, which is what you're watching right now, and even the Song of the Wilds playlist. It's all in one link. So all you have to do is go to it. So linktr.ee/Song of the Wilds.
Yeah, I heard that too, Evan.
Is someone playing like a video, or like was someone playing something through their phones?
Oh, did you hear
No, my
someone
phone
singing?
went off and I was trying to figure out how to turn it off.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say it was either that or
Why is your ringtone NPR
McLean is
radio?
also singing in the apartment.
No, it wasn't my ringtone. My phone just like started playing a TikTok video, and I was like, "How the
okay.
hell did that even happen?" That'll happen every once in a while. If I was like watching TikTok earlier, my phone will just start like, "Oh, I'm gonna play this now."
That's weird.
It's
But
very
yeah,
strange.
go to the link and check out everything that we do, because we do more than just streams.
You okay, Leah?
We got an Instagram and a Twitter that
Little headache,
sometimes
but
gets
good.
used.
Oh, okay.
Are there
You'll
any
be
other
okay,
little?
hon?
Leah, you okay?
Minus pressure. I'm good.
Oh,
I hate that.
Love those headaches.
Oh no, should we tease the?
What?
Hey, what?
Cut
Can you
out.
repeat that?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Try,
Should
try like exiting the chat and then like rejoining because you're getting like you're kind of skipping a lot.
Got it. BRB.
All right, well,
Go
Troy's
for
doing that.
BRB.
I'll talk about the stuff that happened this week, aside from me getting my shot on the 16th like you guys.
All right.
Oh, dear. Well,
That happened.
yep, that just happened. It's fine. But D&D Mom got me these.
Holy!
Aw,
Whoa!
that's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. I've been having a ton of fun reading up about all the monsters in D&D. I'm really loving the mythology of D&D.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm working on what I want for my campaign whenever I decide I want to try to DM. So, and also I got these set up, so that's kind of cool.
That is really neat.
Nice.
Hang on, there we go.
Ooh. Some mood lighting.
Now we know that Troy had an announcement, but he is still trying to reconnect here.
Right.
Does anyone else have any other little announcements?
Oh, I
have
can
a-
turn these down.
Oh,
Oh, awesome.
I was about to say, I have a tiny one.
What is it?
In August, me, Izzy, and Evan are going to be at this really cool convention called ClickCon,
Nice.
which is for models and photographers. So that's gonna be cool. By the way, I saw that face, Izzy, and wow.
I was gonna
wow.
say, Evan, did you enjoy that? I wasn't even watching the screen.
But yeah, it's gonna be super cool. It's a really cool opportunity, and I'm excited about it. I hope that you both are as well. So stay tuned for some cool content from that.
We also got some more secret things coming.
Oh.
That Carly is part of.
I know.
I wish I could go, but I am neither of those things. So.
He's not a
They'll be
secret
there.
nor a thing.
Yeah.
He's not a secret.
Troy, I believe you had an announcement for us.
I will tease it later.
Oh,
He keeps freezing.
Oh, no.
I think
dear
it's,
your
friend.
internet is.
Oh dear.
Oh, I
It
should
might
get
be your
rocks.
connection.
Hold on, I
Yeah.
need to get rocks.
Go get your rocks.
Yeah, it's my.
Yep.
It's your
It's a
what?
connection.
It
It's
cut
the
again.
connection.
It's my connection.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tease it later.
I think I know what it is because I might be a part of that. I don't know yet if it's what I'm thinking of. Have to see.
I would assume it is what you're thinking of. But...
All right. Are there any other little announcements before we get started?
Yeah. Technically,
Oh,
itty bitty announcement. The Sunday before my birthday, which is literally Mother's Day. Come here.
Oh,
This one, and I will be in the city.
Yeah.
For the day of birth. So
for the day of birth.
yeah. Well,
For,
the week.
for Life Day.
Yeah. Woo.
anniversary of the birth.
Woo. 27. So yeah.
Rejoice the
I have
spawning.
rocks. I have rocks.
I'll only get from mom. Pretty much.
How does your mom feel about that? She's like, "This is my day, and you stole it, Kira."
No,
What did I just
technically, I was supposed to be born 2 days before or after I was actually born. I was supposed to be born on the 12th. That didn't happen.
Apparently, according to the chat, we have a second person whose birthday falls on Mother's Day too. We have chat_gamer_.
Chat underscore gamer. What is up, my dude?
Is it on Mother's Day or is it the day before Mother's Day?
Hey, he says, hey, my B day sometimes falls on Mother's Day too.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
That was last year. If you're May 10th, baby, then yeah.
Mine's on the 12th, he says.
So see, I was supposed
Aha! I now know your birthday.
to.
I think
I
that's
will
one. Of,
do
I think
with
that's
that
one of Izzy's
information what I
friends.
know.
I'm going out on a limb here.
He's from one of my streams, and he just joined my Discord, and he applied to be one of my mods.
Aww.
Nice.
Okay, that was it. Just different setting.
All right.
Yay!
We're still kind of waiting for Troy to get back here before we get started. So how about them owl bears?
Did you post the link for the merch?
Yes, I did.
Cool. I wasn't sure if you did yet.
It's the link tree thing that he put in the chat. That has
cool.
all the I made it so that Evan only has to post one thing during the stream.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
So if Carly mentions the Instagram, if you mention the Twitter, either of the merch stores, even your own YouTube channel, it pulls up the playlist of Song of the Wilds. I was like, let's just make it easy.
Because everybody in this campaign has a huge ego.
Yes.
By the way, Chat Gamer says, can we normalize naming sports teams after D&D monsters?
Please.
Maybe?
Honestly.
100%.
I want to make a team called the Madrons.
I want the
Can
Chicago
I-
Zulus.
Actually, the Genosphinxes would be pretty awesome.
That would be really cool.
The
Wait, can I?
beholders.
What
The
would I?
Pittsburgh Pegasus.
what would-
Pegasi.
You see,
I
these
think
sound more like
Pegasus is
Overwatch
people.
esports teams.
Yeah, exactly.
That does sound like
I
one.
mean, honestly, if you made your esport team name that, they'd be like, "Wow, that's a really creative name." It would go.
Badass.
No one would know. No one would know.
No one.
No one
How would they know?
All right. Whoa, Troy, are you doing okay?
Yeah, he's-
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Okay, welcome to my backup. So if my internet's being wonky, I switched my iPhone to a cell phone, put the iPhone on a tripod, and here I am. This is my backup plan.
That is
Fantastic.
perfectly fine. You're actually coming in better
Yeah,
than
you're
your computer.
actually coming in a little better.
Wow. Phones are amazing
All right.
these days. All right.
Right,
This is not an advertisement for Apple products.
It is not.
It's not.
no,
Not
screw,
sponsored, but
screw Apple, honestly.
Have
Um,
Trust me, if we're an Apple product, Coco would be updating iOS constantly.
but if
You're
something
not
breaks,
wrong.
we have to get an entirely new Coco, completely.
or we have to get a new Coco every year.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wait, pick a number between 1 and 350.
250.
272.
272? Okay.
5.
Are we in that
Hi.
version of Coco already? Coco OS 272, is that what it is?
No, I don't know, what's a city that starts with S?
All right.
San
I
Juan.
want to know, Evan.
Let's go.
I just have to say,
Seattle.
I
San
am so
Francisco
intrigued
skeletons.
about what you're gonna do this session to top what happened in the last one.
Don't pretend like you don't know. I told you like 10 minutes ago what I'm doing.
I know, but I can't. You were supposed to say that. I was trying to be like, I don't know anything.
Can I request something for 5
no.
seconds?
No.
Okay.
You already almost got banged by a spider, and that was something that you instigated.
No. Out of game. Just
As a rock.
I will,
5 seconds of your time.
I will
Is it a
listen.
rock?
Is it a rock? Is it jam? Is it a rock
The
made of
country of
jam?
the rock.
No, it's something
Is
so
it a
much
jammer?
more wholesome. Can I have you guys just wave at my camera?
Oh, yeah.
You just smacked me in the
Okay,
head.
hold on. Here we go.
Nope. Go back.
Ow, my arm.
Thank you. You guys did your service.
All right.
Guys, hey guys.
All right.
All right.
Hook horrors.
Last call. Any announcements before we get started?
Should I tease it?
Yes.
I would do it
Do
now.
Then you go, Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren,
All right.
Lauren, and then Troy, and then we'll get started.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, last D&D monster sports team, the Houston Hook Horrors.
I like that, actually. That's pretty good.
I like
wait,
that.
wait, hold on. Back up. The Houston what?
Of course.
Hook Horrors.
Oh.
Right.
Horrors.
Yeah.
I thought you said hook whores.
Hook.
That's what he did say,
I
technically.
have a new name for prostitutes.
They'll hook you, and
Yeah.
once they get you, they won't let you go.
Well, they all called hookers.
All
The
right,
more
Troy.
you know.
All right, Troy, your turn.
All right. Future one shot, possibly mini series if it all goes crazy well. In the Song of the Wilds universe is the Suicide Squad of the Grey Blades, known as Task Force Omega, also known as Big O. They're coming.
Big O.
Big O.
I have a Big O poster actually in front of me right
You
now.
know, it's a triple entendre. It's a triple, possibly quadruple entendre, depending on where you get the reference Big O from. But they are going to be. They're going to be There's a team that will take on the most dastardly villains of this world. The ones that you got to get rid of, but you don't want the public to know you got rid of them. Even crazier than that.
No, that's Team Alpha's theme.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the A team.
Yes. Big O is the Suicide Squad. It is the, okay, we're going to have a take on either a white dragon or a vampire, and the rest of the world will consider you still a crazy reject. Have fun with that.
Cast in the name of God, ye not guilty.
Yes. So that's coming in the next couple months or so. Pretty much after this current arc of D.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, with no more announcements, I hope are we all out?
I think we're okay.
Okay. Let us continue with the Song of the Wilds, Chapter 42, The Secret of Life. Chapter 42, A Fixer-Upper.
Oh, the temptation to start singing Frozen.
Where we last left off our group of intrepid hunter warriors, simply known as D.
Energy!
They had been able to regroup after being separated from crash landing in the middle of a dark and exceptionally dense forest. However, the moment they regrouped, they were beset upon by an absolutely massive spider. However, in the middle of that fight, the brave and beautiful Mistral decided to try and sway the spider to not fight them with her seductive charms, and yeah, I gotta stop the music here. Simply put, it worked, but a little too well. The spider, absolutely bamboozled by Mistral's charms, decided to whisk her away to his lair, where he would make him his spider bride. The other party members, completely taken off guard by this sudden action, with Polo's reaction of, what the heck just happened, as my ultimate favorite moment in the entire campaign. Chased after the spider into its lair. Luckily, Mistral was able to escape. They were able to reconvene, ambush the spider, and finally dispatch it, and they were safe for the night. They returned to the wreckage of their ship where old Joe was waiting for them. Still, for a very old man, you never see him injured. He seems completely fine. And that, dear friends, is where we leave off our campaign.
Should we be taking note of the fact that Joe never gets harmed? Is he
Right.
a god? Is he actually a god?
You can write that down if you want. We'll just see what happens.
Davina,
I'll write it down. I'm doing it now. No taker, Carly.
Group D of the Greyblades. You all awaken to not the sounds of birds, or rather any animals really, but the faint breeze of wind moving through the branches of the trees. While it is still quite dark in this forest, the few little pinpricks of light that are lucky enough to break through the canopy of the very dense treetops is enough of a sign to tell you that the night has passed. It is now daytime. We're going to consider this a long rest, so if you guys want to hit the long rest button and give yourselves like full recoveries right there, you are more than welcome to. Slowly, one by one, you all awaken. Now, from a technical stance, you all had a long rest, so you guys are all completely healed, and you got all your spell slots back. Story-wise, however, you have awoken in the most sore situation ever, because the airship that you're in is wrecked. There was never really any good spot to lie down. Combined with everyone wanting to, like, take occasional, like, night watches here and there just to make sure you guys don't get ambushed again by other giant horny spiders. Yeah, you just wake up and your bodies are, like, aching. You take the time to stretch, but you can still feel, like, the knots in your back and your arms. But overall, from a pure stamina standpoint, you guys you're feeling well enough to take on the day.
Do chiropractors exist in the Song of the Wilds?
Yes.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah, it's a tiny little goblin woman who's just going to, like, lie you down on your stomach, look at your back, and just go, "Hey!"
Just hop on it and be like.
So Group D, you awaken. You smell a fire. Not like a big fire, because it doesn't sound like anyone else who's awake is panicking right now that the ship is on fire. But it looks like old Joe is already awake, and he already took the time to make a small campfire, and over the fire he has a pot hanging over it where he's brewing what it smells like coffee. It's a very bitter smell to it, because unfortunately all he has is the coffee, but no cream and no sugar, just the coffee grounds. As you guys awaken and you all kind of stumble out of the ship, he's singing a little tune, and it goes, "Oh, there you are! I was wondering when you guys were gonna come up. Here, have yourselves a cup."
Cue the echo.
Oh yeah, someone's
It's
echoing
fine,
me.
it's not that bad.
It's not.
Here, I got it.
What did you make?
Test. Yep,
Yeah.
it was
You're
Carly.
good.
I was gonna say, yeah, just remember to hit.
I asked old Joe, what did you make?
Got it.
Oh, this here's Acheron breakfast blend. Here, and he, like, hands you a
Breakfast
mug.
blend.
Acheron breakfast blend. On the bag of grounds, you see, like, a cartoony version of Volthric doing this.
Oh no.
Is he get on that design right now?
She was like, "Oh my god, guys."
Hunters of the Grey Blades get on merchandise like sports players on Wheaties.
Hey, why were we told about that?
By the way, Carly, just to kind of put a timeout on the game just for a hot second, if this echoing thing persists, let's move you from the living room into the bedroom and set you up there and close the door. Then that might...
Into the bedroom.
Oh.
You set that up.
Your seduction methods are very interesting, Evan, I must say.
And then...
Is there still an echo even though I muted myself?
Test.
No, it was only when...
Got it.
Yeah, I think it's only when one of you gets loud.
I think it's only when Evan gets louder.
Yeah.
That was the only...
Oh my god. Carly, you remember how I discovered that Zoom has that little tick box that will auto-adjust your volume if you're too quiet or too loud? I have mine turned off, but I think yours is still turned on.
Well, I'm not on. Wait.
Yes,
I
you
didn't
are
know
on
how
Zoom.
to do
Yeah,
that.
we're on
Oh,
Zoom.
on Zoom.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, guys, the DM.
Time out.
Okay, time out. Pause the music. Don't
I'm
worry.
sorry.
I'm
Okay,
coming
guys,
out to you.
The DM is gone, so now it's time to take over. So I'm thinking that we all turn on him and all just roll nat ones for the entire rest of the day.
What are you talking about? That means
Not
he
gonna
wins.
lie to you.
No.
He
We
can't
do.
hear
We
this, by the
anytime
way.
we do. Just follow what I'm
we
doing.
go.
Follow what I'm doing. Okay. So he says, "I need you to
Thank
roll
you.
initiative. Everybody
All
gets
right,
a one. The
Everybody gets a
stupid
one. So now
Every- that
all
idea.
the stupid moments where they don't necessarily matter. Everybody just rolling that one. They're like,
I
"Oh,
like
can I
that
walk
idea.
through this door?" Like, yeah, uh-huh.
we gotta do that like
Okay,
that
great,
Qui-Gon
great.
I
Jinn
like that
shit.
idea.
Yeah.
Cool,
So
cool.
everybody, you got that holiday
Yep.
party this Friday? Okay.
Yep,
awesome.
sick.
Yeah.
Holiday roll.
Alrighty, so we did some technical adjustments. Hopefully things are just a little bit better. Anyway,
Evan, say something really loud.
Ah!
Ah!
Is there an echo?
There is, but it's actually not as loud anymore. So I
Okay,
think that
cool.
solved it.
I'm Captain Kirk.
So Polo, you are handed a small mug. It's actually about the size of like my Bluetooth speaker, like compared to my fist. So it's not. It's a
cool.
mug, but it's not.
Or
like,
this. This works.
Yeah, it's like half that size. So yeah, you look at it, and it is a black, like, very watery liquid. Wait, are you implying that Polo has never had coffee before?
No, I just wanted to make sure it was actually coffee and it wasn't some trick you were trying to pull on us.
Oh, no, it's coffee. It's
Okay.
coffee. I'm not even gonna make you guys do, like, perception or investigation checks.
Okay.
It's coffee.
Alright.
You put some Irish cream in it.
Yeah, it's like,
Don't tell
it's
anyone.
coffee and I put a bunch of drugs in it. Let's party!
Well, you do see old Joe, like, pull out a flask and he pours a little
Oh,
something
yeah,
in
okay.
his
Strong
mug.
gave me
Fair
some
enough.
sugar. I don't know where she got it.
Well, he does it in his mug alone, but he doesn't just pour it in the pot.
Cocaine in the coffee? Is that what you're implying?
Cocaine.
No, I was applying like THC infused sugar. or
Oh,
something
okay,
like
alright.
that.
Oh god, Arios is gonna relapse to not having hands anymore.
That's still my favorite thing in this campaign.
Oh,
That was
God.
so sad, but so funny all at the same time.
Alright, so pretty much each and every one of you are handed a mug of coffee. Eden, you feel your backpack suddenly get lighter, and both Axel and the owl bear hop out of your sack, and they're just both kind of waddling on the ground. Axel is in his normal form, not like his divine looking form. And the owl bear's cub-sized again. So all of them, so they're just kind of like playfully nipping at each other. They're just kind of walking up to old Joe and like giving him a sniff.
What? If I remember correctly, this is the first time he's seen them, or no?
Oh no, he's seen them before.
Perfect.
I like that.
What, Rivendell?
Just got
Yeah.
ethereal really quick.
Is
Wow.
that Rivendell?
No, it's not. This is a this is a generic. Wait. Okay, it looks like there's some Viking movie.
Mistral is gonna go hide in a corner real quick.
What corner? You're out in the middle of a clearing.
Don't question it. She just disappears for a second.
D&D Mom, is this from the soundtrack of Vikings?
No, this is from a movie called well, the song's over now.
Yeah,
It's a different.
But
it looks
Some
like
Scandinavian name, you know.
it was a Scandinavian name. It looks like it was like a foreign movie from Denmark or something.
That's kind of cool.
You're a foreign movie from Denmark.
Your mom's a foreign movie from Denmark.
I
No,
missed
it's
you
even
guys.
worse when they're from
So all of you, you're basically sitting around on makeshift like boxes for chairs as you're all around this fire. He's got not just some coffee, but beneath the fire. Well, not beneath the fire. On the fire, he's got like a pan of like some sausages, like a little like pile of baked beans. Like this is like a Wild Western style breakfast, like what they
Nice.
had back then.
I make myself a small plate and I go and I plop back down and I enjoy myself.
I do the same.
All right, you guys all dine in. However, as you do, you hear a crash from inside the wreckage of the ship, and you hear.
Oh.
Okay.
Coco's awakened.
Coco, are you
Oh,
done
hey, buddy.
rebooting?
I'm here.
You
I've been
missed a
here
few
the whole
things.
time.
Good to see you awake, Warforged.
Basically, Lauren, just to kind of reiterate, we're playing off with the BS reason that Coco has been shut down this entire time. So the last time we had you awake was back when you were in that city with all of like the black shade creatures. But that was some
Yeah.
but that was some sessions ago.
Arios didn't know he could lift you, by the way.
Arios, you can levitate!
So Coco, you wake up. The last thing you remember, you were in a city with shades, and now all of a sudden you're in the middle of a forest, and the airship is basically more or less wrecked, yet still kind of intact. And that's where you're at right now.
I leave for what? A day to update?
No, it's been at least a week.
It's been a day, actually, I think, in RP.
Game time.
Story-wise,
In real
it's been
time,
a
it's probably been
day.
a day.
What?
Yeah.
No,
I
because
leave for a day.
the spider thing happened overnight, didn't it?
But
Okay,
then,
so maybe,
but then
like,
the day before
2
that
days.
night, you were in the city trying to escape from the shades.
Oh.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm gonna say maybe 2 days.
All right.
Yeah, 2 days sounds right.
Day and a half.
Leave
Yeah.
for 2 days to update. And where are we?
Like most computers, you pick the most inconvenient times to update.
No
I've been
offense,
putting
my
it
man,
off
no
for-
offense.
He's running
A
Windows.
while.
Windows jokes.
Do you have anything new that you can offer us, Coco?
I don't know.
Brilliant.
It's got here.
just like every computer.
I don't know.
I don't know.
you'll
You
find
find it,
out.
asshole.
Yep.
Do you at least have like new games in your system?
Yeah. The latest version of
Coco?
Steam is updated.
Coco, do a self-investigation check.
Oh god. Okay. Got a nat 1.
Oh, no.
No,
as
wait a
you-
minute. Wait a minute.
You doing what Izzy said, or are
No,
you,
I
did
actually-
you
Oh,
actually
okay.
get it out?
All right.
And
Actually did.
as you kind of pat yourself, Coco, to try to figure out what's going on, you accidentally like flip a switch, and all of a sudden
You shut up.
your stomach like opens up, and a whole bunch of poker cards fly out, and they land on the ground in the perfect setup to play solitaire.
You Warforged are full of surprises, I must say. I can't believe Izzy missed that. And Lauren rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god, she's gone! I just now realized.
Yeah.
You had to use the restroom. That's why she said I'm going in a corner.
Oh, I thought she was just being
Oh.
Mistral.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know
no.
she actually left.
That was
I
way
thought she
too
was just
in
being-
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could have said I'm going behind a bush or something.
Yeah, but that's too obvious.
The toilet bush from episode 1.
Oh my god, it all comes back.
She took a number.
Can I try a divine intervention to see if, like, my god can help get the ship fixed
My god is an awesome god.
a little bit, or maybe even like, you know, get an idea of where we're at?
You can certainly try. From what I know, divine intervention is like the most powerful, yet the most like almost impossible spell to pull off as a cleric.
Exactly, but I get one a day.
You get one a day. Yeah, you are more than welcome to give it a shot. Oh my god, Liam, will you make that thing stop?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's kind of cool though.
I wasn't trying to be annoying, genuinely. I didn't know it could do that. I didn't know it could do that. I'm sorry.
Like, oh my god, I'm not prone to seizures, but dear lord.
Yeah, Caesar warning. Sorry, everybody.
What did I miss?
Nope, nothing.
Coco has solitaire now.
Yep, Coco
I
rolled a nat 1. We're not even
but
kidding.
actually,
You missed it.
Yeah, we knew you were gonna have that reaction. That's why I was like, wait a minute, are you doing what Izzy said to do? Or
Yeah.
did you actually roll a nat 1? Because either way, that's pretty funny.
So Atarax, you are gonna try and do a divine.
It didn't work. It
You
didn't
didn't
work.
get it.
Well, you just wasted a spell.
Well, it's not a spell, it's an ability.
Still, it's like one a day.
You fucked up.
Roll the dice.
It's basically the cleric scratch off ticket. That's what it really is. So if you
That is
lose, you
true.
don't lose much.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. Thanks, Spider-Man.
Yes, Davina.
First of all, I love that reference. Second of all, I'm gonna go over to old Joe and I'm gonna be like, so can we like help you get the ship back and running, or are we kind of?
Oh, you don't need to ask. I was totally gonna make you guys help me.
Cool.
And he walks over to what looks like a giant rolled up cloth, and he like pushes aside and it just unrolls, and you see saws, axes, hammers, nails, screwdrivers, like all manner of tools here.
Do we not have anything that
My
can call for
time
help?
has come.
Coco rolls up his invisible sleeves. Now this looks, and just on a boombox. Now this looks like a job for me.
Coco turns on his Bluetooth speaker. Coco, I need you to roll me an Arcana check.
Oh boy,
God,
let's.
fly.
Would it be a bad idea for me to throw a fireball in the air like a flare?
You can
Maybe.
certainly try that, though. There
Unless
is
we
no.
want to attract more spiders, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
worried
might
about.
attract
That
other things.
is a 15.
A 15. All right. You press another switch on your chest, and all of a sudden, like the pecs of your robotic chest just start like bouncing to like a very low dubstep beat, like.
I like 'em big.
I like 'em chunky.
It's something that I need in my life.
Oh, it's in my brain now. So old Joe now looks to you all and goes like, "All right, guys, here's what we're gonna do. Essentially, engine and all the circuits, all of that's intact. But if we try to lift off right now, the ship's basically gonna break itself in half. So we gotta gather up wood, we gotta chop it up, and we gotta try and put this thing, the two halves, back together and reinforce it so that when we do try to lift off, it's not just gonna snap on us. So, someone's gotta chop wood, someone's gotta saw it, someone's gotta hammer it."
I'll chop it.
I'll do the sawing.
All right.
I've got the
I can
hammering.
supervise.
As always.
I was gonna say I don't know what you want Arios to do because I got a -1 on strength for Arios, so.
That if that's the case, Ario can be like a hammer person, because I'm gonna say
there
that
you go.
hammering.
Hammerman, if you will.
You know, Arios is good at nailing things.
Okay, you know what?
Cataracts.
Okay, you know what, Jordan, for whatever your next roll is, I'm gonna give you advantage on it because that was spot on.
Yeah.
You hate dad jokes. Every time I do a dad joke, you say I get a disadvantage, and then Jordan does one.
That was
and he
not
gets
a
an
dad
and
joke.
Yes, it
That
was.
That was totally a dad
Yes, it was a
joke.
pun.
That would be a bad pun.
Yeah, but
Alright.
it's one that I would do.
You're right.
So that's why I'm giving him advantage, because game respect game. All right, so Arios, if you're worried about that, Arios can definitely be a hammer person, because I'm gonna say that hammering nails in a board is gonna be more of like a dexterity thing and less so a strength thing. So basically, chopping wood is going to be a strength. Sawing and carving the wood I am going to say is constitution, because that's gonna take a lot of stamina to like saw up those logs into like usable planks. And then it's gonna be dexterity to be able to get to nail those planks in the right portions of the wreckage of the ship.
Coco's gonna saw
DM,
them.
I think Marcus's sword of sharpness actually is designed to cut things clean. So
Alright.
sawing he might be really apt to do so.
For what? For sawing?
I just want to chop some wood.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah, no.
Marcus
Coco's
has
definitely
the
gonna
sword
chop down some
sharpness.
trees.
So like, if you use the sword on sawing things, would that like say give him advantage on something or something like that?
You know what? I will say that because of that specific kind of skill setup, I will say that if Marcus was going to be doing any of the plank making portions of doing the repairs, he will get advantage on those rolls. However, if he's doing like the chopping of trees or the nailing, those are going to be normal rolls.
Okay. Well, I know what my job's going to be. And he starts taking off his armor. He's going to go completely shirtless with this. He's going to fan service the hell out of this.
And this is going to turn into that scene of Age of Ultron where Tony and Steve are just chopping wood.
Yeah.
Is somebody going to end up ripping a log in half? Because that did something to me.
I like how Charlie's eyes just widen there.
I'm just waiting to see, like, almost more like...
I mean, I was planning to saw too. So, I guess...
You have more than one person sawing. That'll probably get it done easier.
Yeah, all of you are expected to work on this, so buddy up.
Can Mistral just like sneakily take the armor and just try to see if it fits? But obviously, it's gonna be big.
Roll a natural, not a perception. You feel free to go for it.
Mistral, I would have to say that, roll me either a dexterity check, and if that works, then I need you to roll me an Arcana check.
Big dexterity. I rolled a 9.
The breastplate is on backwards.
Oh, I see.
At that moment, as you put on the breastplate, and Marcus is just kind of watching you like, what the hell is she doing? Here's the thing, Count Marcus. When you were shedding your armor, you just kind of went on autopilot as you were just disrobing, but you actually also accidentally took off the pendant that you always wear. When Mistral puts on that armor, you don't see any real magical effects, but you see a raven fly down and land on Mistral's shoulder. The raven just kind of looks around for a moment, looks right at Mistral, and actually just kind of bounces back a bit. Just kind of looks around, sees Marcus, flaps over and lands on Marcus's shoulder.
You're not Ron.
You're not Ron.
Whoa. Yeah, it's okay, boy. I'm right here. It's all right. It's all right.
The crow, the little raven caws at Mistral, kind of annoyed before, like, flying up on top of the wreckage of the ship, and it's just watching you guys now.
Hey, look, don't give her a hard time. She looks cute-ish. Yeah, cute. Right.
Ouch!
Ish. Master of charm over here, jeez.
Off now. I was gonna have fun, but obviously
I
not.
was gonna.
Look, you look adorable, but I was trying to warn you. I haven't cleaned the armor yet. We haven't gone back to the city yet.
We're in the middle of the forest. Does it look like I care?
All right.
I mean, come on. I gotta be a gentleman.
I just from out of nowhere, Davina pulls out a thing of popcorn and just goes.
Wow.
What am I doing?
Polo's the only one that's actually, like, doing work right now.
That sounds about right.
I'm
yeah.
gonna go.
Polo's also chopping down trees.
Polo. I'm gonna go chop down some trees for you so
Thank
that you have something to do. Okay.
Are Atarax and Eden doing anything?
I mean, I was gonna fill in whatever role needed to be filled, so it doesn't.
I would ask that Eden also be a hammer person.
A hammerman.
A hammerman, and I will ask that Atarax be like a lumberjack.
Atarax, let's go chop down some trees.
Also would be a lumberjack. He definitely
deforestation.
Than either
I
of the two.
also have mending. It's only for like foot by foot, like damage, but it could do something.
That will definitely speed up the process of the repairs. However, you are all still going to need raw materials from the forest itself to do all of like the major repairs. Again, essentially what's going on here is that the airship itself, which looks like the giant wooden airships from like the very first Final Fantasy. It looks like a pirate ship, but instead of sails, it's got propellers. There is a massive crack that goes down the center of the ship on the sides. Now, the ship itself, like all of the mechanical parts of it, are still intact. It's really just the wooden frame that is busted. And as Old Joe explained before, if you try to turn on the engines and go up into the air in this state, the damage will increase and the ship will not be able to handle its own weight, and it's just going to get sheared in half. Basically, kind of like how the Titanic was split in half.
That's what I've been thinking about this entire time. Is like, this sounds very much like the Titanic.
This is exactly like what happened to the Titanic here. So basically what you guys are going to do is just, it's not going to look pretty, but if you guys can make wooden planks and reinforce those planks on the cracks on the hull, then the ship is not going to split apart when you guys try to turn on the engines. That's basically the objective of this session. So from what I understand, we're going to have Davina, Atarax, and Coco be lumberjacks. They're going to chop the wood. We are going to have Marcus and Polo be the carpenters. They're going to actually use their skills to make the wooden planks. Arios and Eden are going to be the actual menders. They're going to take the planks and nail them across the hull of the ship. What is Mistral doing?
Celine Dion. She's a Celine Dion. She's going to sing near, far, wherever you are.
Oh, I like that Fievel reference.
That was the Titanic.
That was the Titanic, Carly.
Oh shit! That sounded like this.
Love you, Carly.
Like the song from Fievel. I'm sorry, I got excited.
Love you, Carly.
So Mistral, what is Mistral doing?
I said Mistral was gonna supervise.
The fuck she is.
Oh.
Arios might drag Mistral over and just be like, nope. If I gotta work, you gotta work.
You don't have, like, we could say we're gonna go get some, like, twigs or something. Oh
my god.
Yeah. Just hang out for, like, an hour.
We're never getting out of this damn forest. We should have left her with the spider.
Mistral, can I ask you a big favor for 1 second? Just
sure.
A small favor. Between you and me, I got a little secret just between you and me.
Sure.
I know how to cut wood down.
Good job.
But I'm not a really good engineer. The whole measuring thing, making sure it's exact. And I'm not the best at it.
Huh?
Could you... Math, exactly. The what's it called? Geometry?
Geometry, yes, and the trigonometry and the biology.
Yeah, I sort of need. Look. I know Polo's a genius over there, but I sort of need some brains behind this brawn. Would you mind being the measuring tool?
The measuring tool. Well, my knuckle is about an inch long, so I can measure things.
At that moment, something is thrown in the air and lands at your feet, Mistral. It's a yardstick.
Oh, look, a yardstick!
And you hear Old Joe getting all of his tools organized, and you just hear, "Hop to it, princess!"
You heard him, princess.
Okay, yeah, do you guys want me to turn invisible again and mess with all of you?
What, you don't like the word princess? What should we call you? Queen, mistress?
You know what? Mistral just disappears. She went invisible. She gone.
Where's my counterspell at?
Who has counterspell?
That's not very good team player,
I know
is it?
I don't have counterspell.
It's still kind of the same.
I sadly do not have counterspell.
You all suck.
Fuck it, I tried. All right, let's do this.
I'm just gonna take my great axe and look at Coco and look at Atarax and be like, all right, guys, let's go.
Can I use
Polo,
my
just check my math.
Can I use my thaumaturgy to order Mistral? Like, use my booming voice?
No.
Can I just say, hey Mistral, can you play us some jams?
All of a sudden, you just
Damn!
you just hear like footsteps running around and just random drumming. Just
I hate it.
Mistral, I would love for you. I'm gonna regret this. Mistral, please roll me a performance check.
oh
Use
yeah.
Curious
There we
dice.
go again!
Use Curious dice.
Well,
Fucking hell!
Oh no.
What'd you
See,
get?
you cursed us all.
I swear, Evan, I am not lying. I am not. But I rolled a 17 plus 13, that equals 30.
And I'm gonna wait for him to
I
get
mean,
back. I'm
honey,
gonna make it
come
even
back.
worse.
I have not touched nothing.
come
My
back.
Hey,
hands have
Evan.
been in
Hey,
view
hey,
this
Evan.
entire
Hey, Evan. I'm gonna
time.
make it
I can
worse.
show you there's
I'm gonna
a
use Flash of
17
Genius
on
to
my
add another
table.
5 to that, so it's a
God
35.
damn it, Coco!
Oh no!
Okay. Mistral, you are running around the perimeter of this little
This
campsite.
isn't even bardic inspiration! It's not gonna do anything!
You know what?
You know, hold on,
The
because I know
30
exactly
freaking
how to describe this.
Oh,
Because
no.
trust me, something will happen. Mistral, you are running around the perimeter of the group, banging your drum, and Coco somehow is able to make his index fingers light up like glow sticks, and he's just like doing this to kind of go with the beating of the drum, and that flash of genius inspires you, and you find yourself like beating the drum at a much faster rhythm, almost like it's actually becoming a full song itself. And you're now running so much that you turn your body, you stop moving your feet, and you just start like drifting in a circle around the entire party. And as you do so, I'm just gonna tell you this right now, the beat that she's playing to is like that main song Deja Vu that they always do with initial D like AMVs. I'm not gonna say you all have inspiration, but for whatever you guys are gonna do for your next rolls, you all are going to get advantage.
Jesus, that's even worse. That's better and worse.
Okay, so
You're welcome for the suggestion, guys.
Okay, so the first thing I need you all to do is, so here's what's happening. Polo and Marcus are the carpenters. They're going to be carving the planks. The hammer people, Eden and Arios, you guys already have some spare planks, so you guys can get a head start. So you guys are like hammering away. Davina, Coco, and Atarax, I need all three of you to roll me strength checks with advantage.
Okay, give me 1 second.
my.
What is my
Hammer
strength?
man. Hammer.
Good thing I
Hammer
have
man.
that. There it is. Okay.
All
Could be
right.
better. There we go. It's not a nat 20, but it's a dirty 20.
All right.
Best kind.
And are these just straight
Well earned.
strength or like
Uh,
athletics?
Just a straight strength roll, but all three of you are rolling with advantage.
19.
16.
All right, excellent. Oh wait, Atarax, what did you roll?
19.
All right, awesome. All of you take your weapons and you are chopping wood like no one's business. Arios, I would like you to roll me a charisma saving throw.
$15.
That's with advantage, right?
That is with advantage.
Yep.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let's see. Dirty 20.
Arios, as you are hammering, you just kind of look behind you for a moment and you see, like, in slow motion, just Davina in, like, wearing only the vest of her outfit. Her guns of arms are, like, exposed and glistening with sweat. And you
Nice.
see, like, the very faintest of jiggles in her biceps as you see her just take that axe and in slow motion chop that tree. And Arios, this is you right now. However, because you rolled a 20, you realize just before it's too late that you were almost about to put a nail through your own thumb. If you rolled below a 10, you would have gotten like 2 piercing damage by putting a nail through your hand. But thankfully you rolled high enough, so you're fine. So you're like... And... Alright, so with the first couple trees down, and all of you are like, you're working up like a big sweat. Suddenly you're all wearing like red and black plaid, like button-up sweaters.
No, I'm not.
You all have beards now.
All that made.
Yes.
I look
The
distinguished.
metal man grows beard. It's just steel wool.
It's steel wool!
That's part of the update.
All of a sudden you hear Coco say, these be good trees to chop, eh? Like...
Hoser.
Oh, these be good
And
trees
then
to chop,
and
eh?
you just hear Davina singing to herself, I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I work all night and I sleep all day.
She's a lumberjack and she's okay.
That joke doesn't work when it's a woman.
All of a
No, it
sudden, a
works
bunch of
double, so-
Mounties just
I wish
spring
I
up and they
was
just sing
the
the chorus.
man, just like my dear mama.
Anywho, so you guys successfully make some logs. Polo and Marcus, I need you both to roll me, constitution checks.
Constitution checks.
Well, because
Alright.
the way I'm explaining it is that you're basically using your saws and or your blades to carve these logs into planks, and that's going to be a very stamina-intense activity.
And we get advantage, right?
Yeah, this time you are going to get advantage.
Okay. I got
Yeah,
it.
both of you got
That's
advantage for
13.
Constitution.
16.
15.
And that was both with advantage?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. You both succeed. You both got like 3 planks each from each log. Now Arios and Eden, I would need both of you with advantage to roll me dexterity checks. And again, just to kind of throw this out there, I'm just going with with your basic stats and not an actual skill, because I'm not sure if there's like an actual like carpentry skill.
There isn't. Holy shit.
There should be, you would think.
19.
It would probably be like a specialized proficiency. That's what it would be.
Something like that.
Yeah.
14. 19.
All right, so Eden, you find yourself actually doing a very good job with this. You got the planks lined up, you got the nails in, and once you're done like hammering those nails in, things are actually looking pretty solid, actually. Arios, while your plank is just as solid because you only rolled a 14, your plank is unfortunately just a little bit crooked. It still seems pretty solid enough, but you know that this might be like a slightly weak point, but those nails are really in there, so you're not able to like yank them out or anything. Mistral, I need you to roll me a perception check.
Perception check. Coming your way. Interesting roll. Perception. I got a 12.
A 12. You actually are kind of keeping true to what you wanted, being just the supervisor, because you're also being the lookout in case any animals try to show up. With a 12, you don't really see much of anything. There's the occasional bug that like lands on you and tries to bite you, because again, even the bugs are corrupted in this world. It's nothing serious or anything, just a couple flies, like a bee like gets you in the arm, but it's nothing serious. It's nothing life-threatening or anything. It's just
Bug tries to bite me.
a bug tries to bite you and like kills itself for putting too much strain in its mouth. Oh, actually, wait. Coco, I need you to roll me an investigation check.
Investigations +5. 10.
10. All right, that actually just barely makes it. You kind of think about the updates that you received during your time when you were shut down, and you just kind of feel yourself again for maybe there's like another button on me. You press it, and all of a sudden, your arms, your neck, and your leg glow bright blue. You don't really feel much. You don't really feel much of anything, but everyone standing around Coco hears the occasional. Psst.
I'm a bug
Bug zapper, Coco.
Oh my word.
Meanwhile, the owlbear, never seeing a bug zapper for the first time, the owlbear's eyes is like, and it slowly just walks towards Coco.
Oh no!
The fox is like trying to like grab the owlbear.
Wait.
Coco, also not really knowing that he's a bug zapper, not having he starts to try to pet it.
No.
But as
Hey, Arios, look over.
Wait,
and
Evan,
see this?
before you do anything, can I roll perception to see if I see this?
You certainly can.
Nobody here knows what a bug zapper is.
Okay,
That's the
wait.
thing.
What is my perception? What is my perception? I got an 18.
You just see.
You see what's going on, but you are like at the outer edge of the clearing, so even if you see it, you are too far away to do anything.
Fuck!
That being said though, now it's my turn to roll.
Oh no.
This is gonna be a strength check to see if Axel can stop the owlbear.
Evan?
What?
Was that a nat one?
And that's one at least.
Coco, you reach out.
Oh no.
And just when you're about to touch the owlbear on the top of the head, all of the sudden, you feel like this jerk in your wrist. And you see that Axel has basically leapt and chomped his fangs down on your wrist joint of your arm. Axel takes 3 points of thunder damage. Kind of broken out of the stupor, the owlbear just kind of sees this, looks at Coco, looks at Axel, scampers off and runs over to Eden and just hides behind his legs.
Oh, baby.
Coco's like,
Yeah.
what is the monster I have become?
Axel's fine. Like, again, it was only 3 points of thunder damage, but Axel's
To a god.
Axel's fur is so poofy right now, he looks more like a Pomeranian than a fox.
Okay, fine.
Like, every single hair is standing up. Alright. I need another strength check from Davina, Coco, and Atarax. And this time, none of you have advantage, because you've already used it.
7.
I got a 16.
I also got a
Completely
6.
disheartened as to what just happened. I got a 7.
Yeah, Davina and Atarax are able to successfully chop up another log each. Coco, you are still so distraught by what happened that you just kind of forgot about throwing an axe, and you're just looking at your hands like, by the gods, what have I become?
I, the very beast I swore to destroy.
Like
Looking at your hands.
You have that same expression of like Kratos from God of War when he just realized that he murdered his own family. Like it's that you have like that 1,000-yard stare as you just realized what you just did. Polo and Marcus, I need you both to roll me Constitution checks. Again, Marcus is rolling with advantage because he's got that sharp edge in his blade. Is that like a feat? Like what is that?
No, it's a feature. It's the sword called Sword of Sharpness. It's a magical item.
It's not a glitch, it's a feature.
Yeah, it's originally designed to lop off limbs on nat 20s. But
wow.
I got a 7.
All right. Marcus.
I got 12.
All right. Despite being so good at it the last time, you actually do feel yourselves, you both get a little winded this time, so it takes you a little bit longer to make these planks. Your scores are not terrible. Marcus, you finish your planks first before Polo. Polo, you just kind of have to take a moment like, oh god, I've fought monsters before, but why is this so difficult?
Yo, why don't we get like a water boy up in here, like Joe or Mistral? Where's Mistral again?
I'm doing things.
What kind of things?
I'm making sure, there's animals. I'm scaring them away. The smaller ones. We don't want their like blood or biting anyone. I'm just scaring loud noises. Scare them away. I'm doing my part.
Noises.
I have a quick question for Arios. Why do I see in the game logs that you had a custom roll of 1019?
No, that was me.
Yeah, that was Liam.
Oh.
Yes, Polo does that from time to time.
I get bored, so I just roll a bunch of d20s
of skills at once.
Sometimes I get bored, so I invoke my godly powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Plot twist, Polo is Shaggy.
I
Yeah,
was about to say, you guys have only seen 20%.
Spoilers,
of my
guys.
power,
Polo is
man.
actually the main villain of Song of the Wilds. So.
That'd be amazing.
Let's see. Coco, I would like you to roll me an Arcana check for your bug zapper.
Oh no.
Yes.
Of course, this is where I roll the 26.
Hey.
Yeah, your bug zapper is actually doing quite well. Mistral, I need you to roll me another perception check. And because Coco rolled high, you get to roll perception with advantage.
Advantage?
Everybody loving the rebuilding the ship episode of Song of the Wild?
Yeah,
We needed a breather episode after what happened last time.
Alright, fair
I
enough.
rolled a 20.
A 20, alright, very good
20.
perception. Still though, I mean, while the bug zapper
Not a
definitely does a
26.
good job, there's still like the occasional bug that tries to feebly attack you. You see this one very tiny beetle that has landed on you and bites you.
It's a better green.
Okay.
What do you do?
Okay.
I would like to focus.
To rage.
I would like to rage.
I'd like to cast Wish.
That's like using a Master Ball on a Rattata.
You doubt my powers.
I want to use a very concentrated source of poison spray.
Oh god.
You're raided. You're using raid.
You're using poison spray as raid?
I love that.
And I want to spray
Raid!
it towards the bug, and then once it's dead, flick it off, and then at the same time, I don't know if this would be useful, but hey, it is in some scenarios. I take heat metal.
Why?
Just follow, because sometimes I'm healing myself. Just trust me. Trust the process.
You took a long rest. You don't
You
need
don't
any
need to
more
do
heat.
that.
I got a bug bite. I gotta sear it so that it doesn't inflame.
You didn't receive any damage.
We're gonna die out
But
here.
it still bit me. It's gonna be itchy. It's gonna be itchy. I need it. I wouldn't
We can
go
put some freaking
extreme
lotion on you
heat.
later. It's okay.
I'm genuinely considering throwing up
It's
a
gonna
fireball into the
itch,
air.
guys. It's
That's a
gonna
flare.
itch.
It's a flare.
Wait.
I would.
We'll put some
This is totally
cooling
not
lotion on
canon.
you under
But
your tomato.
Davina walks over to Mistral and just hands her a thing of Benadryl and just pats her back and walks over and continues what she was doing.
Do we have any medicine? Is anyone carrying
I
any
do.
medicine?
I could burn lay on hands.
Okay.
I was gonna say let's not, because
yeah.
not, actually taking any damage from this.
But it's
so that
gonna
would
be
a
itchy.
Oh,
But
don't
it's
scratch
gonna
it.
be
If you really,
We gotta move.
if you
We gotta
really,
move
really
on
need
here.
it,
Mistral,
Marcus can be convinced, but
Mistral, I'm gonna say for
And
the
only
sake of
be 5 points to
expediency, you successfully used a poison spell and you flicked the bug off. And I'm actually very proud that you did that, because if you just like swatted it on your arm, the beetle's black blood would have gotten out of you, and you would have all seen
Exactly.
enraged
Oh
Mistral.
God.
Exactly. Think-
Still, feral Mistral would have been really funny.
This is
I'm
the
not gonna lie.
thinker over
Coco
here.
just
seduce
holds her
the
at arm's length
spider.
away, and she can do
Kill
nothing.
the bug with poison spray. It's the thinker over here.
I was gonna say I was just thinking, just flick it. Don't.
But
use
also,
poison
what if I
spray,
flick
but-
it and it goes to one of you guys? I just prevented it from
Flick
moving.
it onto Coco, the bug zapper. Okay, let's go.
Flick it onto Coco.
Okay, Eden and Arios, I need you both to roll me dexterity checks.
These are just straight checks, not
Just
saving
straight
throws.
checks. You guys lost your advantage.
Glad I decided to do a little drinking tonight.
14 again. What the heck is with the
Number.
14?
9.
9.
9.
Yeah, you both aren't sure how this happened. I mean, things looked kind of straight when you looked at it the first time, but then you all kind of forgot that ships are curved when you get closer to the bottom. So at first, when you looked at it from one angle, your plank seems pretty straight, but when you looked at it straight on, oh god, that's actually pretty ugly.
I
Will
just
it
have a
still
quick
hold
comment.
though? It doesn't need to be pretty.
Yeah, will it still hold?
Eden and Arios, make a perception check.
Oh God.
It looked pretty straight in the beginning. My parents at me.
16.
Ah shit. I think that
Are
was
your
7.
parents watching?
No.
Oh, okay, got very excited. It's like, oh.
I think that was a 17. The dice. I hit the dice on accident.
And Arios, what did you roll?
16.
Yeah, those planks are crooked, but those nails are in pretty sturdy. So you're pretty confident that these planks won't go anywhere.
Hey.
But you all might, you might want to go to an actual repair shop before anywhere else if you guys make it back to Acheron. If. You don't know what I have planned. Anywho.
Well, do we need to chop any more wood?
There's one more. I would like, because Mistral is still the only one who's actually not doing any real work around here. I would like Mistral to roll me another perception check.
Okay. Rolling a perception check. Am I just noticing there's more bugs? Okay. I rolled a 19.
19. All right. Once again, the occasional bug, but still no real, larger forms of wildlife seem to be coming towards you.
I was going to say, I would like to cast Dancing Light, but put the lights slightly adjacent to our working area to have the bugs be distracted by the light.
All right, not a problem.
Good idea.
You do that, and it actually is able to do a pretty good job of deflecting the bugs, and actually kind of puts them on a closer path towards Coco, the walking bug zapper.
Great.
However, because you also rolled so high, you look around and you actually spot old Joe. He's doing kind of his own repairs. However, right next to old Joe on the box, like that's sitting right next to him, you see what looks like a small stone statue. And the statue, roll me a history check.
Oh no.
Travel, isn't it?
I rolled a 9.
This statue seems kind of familiar looking, but can't really remember where to place it. So moving on.
That can't be important at all.
Davina, Atarax, and Coco, I need you all to chop lumber for me one more time.
A wheel.
Oh, also a fun fact for the
I got a
stream. I got new
14.
trans dice.
17.
So I've been using those.
Nice.
Love that.
Well, that's a 23.
Yeah, both of you are able to chop wood successfully. Davina this time, however, it takes you actually 2 tries to chop down this tree.
That's fair.
You are just like, you're sweaty all over. You kind of have to like use your axe as like a cane to kind of hold yourself up. Arios, you're just kind of enjoying the show.
Looking good, babe. Looking good.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Thanks.
Looking good, hot stuff.
Thanks, baby.
Polo and Marcus, I need you to roll your constitution checks. Again, Marcus, you have advantage because of your sword of sharpness.
I realized I was doing saving throws when I shouldn't have been. Whoops. So, not doing that again.
That's fine.
30, 20. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 19. I'm sorry.
I got a 9.
All right. Once again, both of you are able to chop up.
My stats suck. My God.
It's okay.
Dude, you're still doing fine.
Eh.
Dude, you were underleveled for who knows how many episodes, and you still were able to like survive.
Yeah.
You both are able to once again make your planks. Polo, unfortunately, you still get like just a little bit more winded from making these planks, and because your roll was in the single digits, I'm actually now gonna have to do something that I've never done before in Song of the Wilds ever. Polo, I need you to tack on 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh, shit.
Okay, what do I do with that? How do I do that?
Okay, so exhaustion is, let me see if I can go to one of my character sheets and then I can guide you. Exhaustion is essentially a debuff that you have put on your character, and the only way to really get rid of it is with a long rest.
Okay.
And you can have like 6 points of exhaustion on you at a time. Actually, we're gonna pause the music right here because I'm gonna go into a little bit of a thing to explain exhaustion points. So exhaustion is given out essentially at the DM's discretion, and they are given to you if you have done anything like super strenuous, or if you have gone like through the night without going to sleep at all. So like, for example, if you have 1 point of exhaustion, all ability checks are going to be at disadvantage, which, Polo, you actually don't have to worry about because you passed it this time, and then you were given your point of exhaustion after it.
Oh,
If you get 2 points of exhaustion, your speed is cut by half. If you have 3 points of exhaustion, you will have disadvantage on all attack rolls and saving throws. If you have 4 points of exhaustion, your hit points are brought down by half. 5 points of exhaustion, your speed is reduced to 0. And finally, if you have 6 points of exhaustion, you die. Just like on the spot, you die.
how do I add that on D&D Beyond?
You gotta... if you go to the upper right section of your character sheet, you should see that little box under your health called Conditions. If
yes.
Click on that box, and it's going to open that large side blocks of like status ailments. Exhaustion is all the way at the bottom.
Yes, it is. Okay, and you said what? 1 point?
You just get 1 point.
Okay.
So if you have to do any ability checks, you have to do them with disadvantage. But honestly, it could be worse.
Okay.
But yeah, these will be removed the next time you have a long rest. Which is actually not that far off if everything goes well. I just wanted to make sure that, these game sessions aren't just about me explaining and you guys role-playing. There actually is a technical standpoint with our character sheet. Don't give me that face, Carly.
No, Leah just posted something horrifying in the general chat.
Oh, it's the vampire Pomeranian from Blade Trinity.
I hate it.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, all I'm seeing is Arios posting the picture of the Pomeranian going through the bars of, like, the child fens, and all I can think of is, like, the T-1000 going through the bars of the jail. Anywho.
Sorry. That scared me. I was like...
So, Polo, Marcus, you guys get your plank work done. And the planks are pretty solid looking. Polo, you just feel yourself, you're just extra winded here. Because again, it's one thing to fight monsters, but this is like heavy duty, like arm cardio that you've been doing like for literally the entire morning. It is now basically noon right now. You guys have been working for like 5 hours straight. All right, and then lastly, Arios and Eden, I need you both to roll me your last dexterity checks.
21.
Oh, shit.
What do you roll?
What do you think?
Natural one.
Kira.
Oh,
Technically it's a 2, but I got a 1.
Arios, you psych yourself up. You look at your own hammer and you're like, okay, work with me on this. We can do this. I am trusting you. And you hit the nail on the head, and your planks are pretty good, actually, this time. Eden, you psych yourself up the exact same way. And you have both Axel and the owlbear just kind of like hopping on their front paws at your feet, like trying to be like little cheerleaders for you.
Oh.
And you're like, yeah, I feel good. I can do this. I'm gonna fix this ship.
I can win. I can try.
I can
fight.
I'm feeling the testosterone building up inside me. I want to go to war. I want a lightsaber! I'm a man! War!
And
Eden, you
hold on. I have to say one thing. I could hear you from inside the office, and there was like a 5-second delay, so it was really funny because it sounded like you were repeating yourself.
Unfortunately, Eden, you psych yourself up so much. Now, Eden, I need you to roll me a strength check with advantage.
Oh, yay.
Oh, no.
It's 15 both times. Got 13 twice.
15. All right. You are so psyched up. You're ready. You're gonna pound the snail. You're gonna drive it into the wood. You rear back. You bring the hammer down, and you've.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Sorry. You've hammered a hole straight through the hull of the ship.
Oh God!
It's a small.
At least it wasn't me.
Compared to the rest of the ship, it is a small hole, but it is it's like perfectly in the shape of your fist. A fist holding a hammer.
Wait, can I do something really quickly?
Karen, use mending. Use mending.
I fix it.
Okay, go for it, Jordan. Never mind. I was gonna do something just to be funny, but that's
You can use
More
mending.
logical. I was gonna have Davina rip off just a piece of bark and then come over and be like, "Give me the hammer."
Actually, there's a way we can combine the two. Davina, you see this just as you're walking back with like your axe on your shoulder, like in just a sweaty like lady lumberjack strut. And Arios is
just sitting there like.
Arios is like doing the water bottle thing, like.
What a woman.
What a woman.
And Atarax and Coco, you're both kind of like slow motion, like strutting from the forest, like all lumberjack. Like Coco is like sweating oil.
Ew.
That's not really.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
No, it's like baby oil. It's clear. It's okay.
It's like baby.
So Davina, you rip off a piece of bark and you place it over the hole. Meanwhile, Atarax uses a mending spell around the edges of the bark, kind of like he's using magic to weld the bark over the hole.
Do I have to do? Never mind.
Now you just gotta like hold the bark in place while he uses mending weld
That's
to
awesome.
magically put the bark in place. And like for some reason, even though it's totally unnecessary, Atarax has like one of those like visors for welding.
The full plate helmet.
He's got like the full plate helmet.
When it's done, I look at Atarax and I just high five him.
With that being said, old Joe now like takes a couple steps back and he's just like, all right, you guys did good. All right, let's all get inside and see if this thing actually turns on.
As we're going in the ship, I gave old Joe a sack of 100 gold, and I say for the repairs once we get back.
Oh, thank you, dearie. He puts
Not like I can't afford it, you know.
Davina could just buy you a new frickin' ship.
Share the wealth.
Right?
Come on, Mr. Frodo. Share the load. So all of you start to like get back on the airship. Davina, because you took a moment to go to old Joe and like give him the Lobo Chicago gave us 109 bits.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben.
That's 9 more bits than Davina gave gold to old Joe.
You're right.
Davina, you see old Joe like strap the bag of coin to his hip, and you see him like actually gather up the small stone statue as well as the box as he walks back into the ship. He seems pretty natural.
Based on my time in the like manner, and I would just read a lot. What I know what that is?
Roll me a history check.
Sick. All right. Let me see. Okay, that's a 17. I got a 21.
You do recognize this small statue. Even though it is perfectly like carved, very intricately carved stone and unpainted, you see what looks like a woman in a long ponytail wearing what looks like aviator gear with like goggles on her head and wings, almost like an Aasimar, coming out of her back, out of her heels,
awesome.
And the
like DC Bombshell's Hot Girl? Is
yeah,
that where you're going
kind of.
with this?
Right? That's what I was
She
thinking.
actually, in fact, this.
Well, she's my favorite design of the Bombshells, so that works.
In fact, you could also, and even wings coming out of like the sides of her head where her ears would be. And you kind of realize, oh wait, this is that same song. Okay, so the movie is called Berkebet Tenirn.
Good job trying.
Oh look, it's the Mahajape, Majahape,
Special beam cannon.
Makaka said cannon!
You'll probably appreciate this. I actually cosplayed as Bombshell Zatanna and got to meet the artist.
Nice.
And he said that I was one of the best Zatanna cosplayers from that line that he'd ever seen, and I almost cried.
And as a bit of an
Bombshell Wonder Woman.
And as a bit of an inside joke to that, I was
You should do
Constantine,
it.
but I had rabbit ears.
If you were able to do it in July, I would offer you to borrow the shorts because I actually have the shorts.
Oh, I've done it. I've done it. I should actually see if I can find the picture. I did not like it as much because there wasn't as much time as I would like to do.
I get that. I want to do
Make the
Canary
costume,
next because I love that design. Sorry, Evan. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Sorry, I'm just trying to like open up my notes here. What the heck? What happened here?
It's like, please hold.
I was gonna say, what are you showing?
The entire campaign is ruined.
Avert your eyes.
Yeah, avert your eyes, please. Like, what the heck happened?
Well, as I
here?
was saying, Carly, you should do Bombshell Hot Girl. I think you'd do a great job with Bombshell Hot Girl.
I might.
I might.
I mean, I really want to do Harley at some point, but that's so overdone that I kind of want to do the
Right,
others.
and you've done Harley, haven't you?
I've done like 6 Harley.
I think you need a little break from Harley.
My personal favorite will always be the crossover between Harley Quinn and Jinx from League of Legends.
That was my favorite because that was the most comfortable because the wig was not heavy. So that was great.
All right, here we go. For some reason, like Microsoft OneNote had to reboot. Okay, it's exactly what I thought here. Okay, so Davina, since you got a much higher history check, you realize that this is a statue of Manisa, the goddess of travel. She is the patron god of civilization who is known for basically overseeing and ensuring the safe passage of any kind of form of transportation, but mostly airships. She's the kind of goddess that all kinds of airship sailors would pray to make sure that, like, their journeys would be short, they would be fruitful if they were gonna go to any kind of work, and that they would return home safely. In all of your studies, you would know that Manisa has never been known to be like one of the more aggressive of the pantheon.
That's good to hear.
Manisa has always been Chat Gamer subscribed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolute Chad move.
You've always kind of known that Manisa has always been like, and Eric Jaws just subscribed.
Thanks, Eric.
It looks like Lobo.
Oh, Lobo
Gifted
Chicago
them.
gifted subscriptions.
Yeah, we got 2 gifted. Thanks for the gift.
Davina, and by the way, Davina's the only one who knows this. She's just remembering it right now. Manisa has never been like known to be like an aggressive goddess, but she's always been like the more like friendly one. Like, let me put it to you this way. My main inspiration for Manisa was Tracer from Overwatch. That's basically that's basically, and the statue.
Here's love.
The statue is like her doing like that little pinup pose with like she's got like one leg up and one leg on the ground. She's just kind of looking behind, smiling.
The gay queen.
But yeah, you see old Joe gather up this statue as well as his things before he gets onto the boat.
I don't say anything because I don't want to upset him. And
You
he's
don't
been
say
pretty
anything.
chill with
All
us
right.
The entire time. I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket of knowledge so that if any trouble happens, I know.
Psst.
Yes?
Davina.
Yeah, what is it, Mistral?
Come here. Come here.
I walk over to Mistral.
Did you see that thing?
Yeah, I did.
Do you know what the thing is?
The thing is a statue of the goddess of flight, Manisa.
Interesting.
I know. but I don't think we should say anything because she's pretty chill.
Oh.
I think we'll be okay.
You should write that down.
I did.
Oh, good.
Oh, geez. Chat Gamer just gave some gift subscriptions. One to Gruddy and one to Izanagi456.
Oh, look at that.
Bad. That's awesome.
All right. So you guys, you all board the ship. You get up onto the deck, and old Joe. Ah! Ah!
What did you do?
Holy shit!
Ah!
Is that in character? Carly, should you run to him?
Hold on.
No, don't. Oh.
Evan, what the
Did you
fuck
pee yourself?
Did you do?
Are you all right, man?
Oh.
Evan, honey, do you
Is it a bowel movement? Did the baby kick?
I grabbed my D20, which is solid like brass. It flew out of my hand and hit one of my testicles. Oh!
Oh, no. So you did feel the baby kick.
Oh!
I'm sorry, man.
Oh my god.
And then roll constitution check.
Man, do you think we should take our break now, Evan? Do you think this is the time?
You know
for us
what?
to take...
Yeah, we're taking our break now. So guys,
Don't go anywhere.
we'll be back in about like 15 minutes.
Wait, Chat Gamer says that's a nat one if I've ever heard one.
Screw you!
That's a nad one.
DM
That's what it is.
We will be right back.
We will be right back. We'll see you all later. Enjoy the music.
Oh my word, yes,
God.
go to the bathroom, go get some snacks.
All right. So we are back. I am feeling much better, by the way. Thank you for everyone's kind thoughts. Oh, jeez.
I achieved a few higher octaves, but I'm fine.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That is a pain that resonates.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Get the ice.
I never thought I'd have to play D&D with a cup,
Joe.
but I guess now I do.
I thought it was old Joe.
You never think about these situations, but
Yeah.
apparently it happens, especially when your D20 is made out of solid brass, and
That's
your
a
fiance
sick-
bought
that's a
it
sick
for
die,
you
honestly.
from like an anime con.
You're so cute and funny. Can I
too.
crush your balls with my D20?
Oh,
Be quiet.
God,
Can we leave this into the character?
Evan, no one was supposed to know that I do that.
I'm hopefully going to collaborate with her very soon, by the way. The girl who did that.
Do it. Okay, anywho, so we're back on track. We're starting up once again. So, oh crap, my thing turned off. There we go.
The magic.
Okay, so all of you have piled on back onto the airship. You see old Joe get into his little cockpit, pulls a couple levers, flips a couple switches. You kind of feel the ship start to hum a bit, and then he like takes a giant dial and he turns it. All right, let me try it again. Turns the dial again. Okay, one more time.
Don't flood the engine.
I love you, Thelma. I love you, Louise.
I saw that Who's Line episode.
It's a classic.
Oh, it is. My favorite will always be Moving People, but it's the Lone Ranger and Tonto, but they just never get Tonto to look up from the floor.
I can look at you. Oh my god.
Wait, my head? You mean my head moves? And then the crowd just starts cheering. Anywho. Okay, I'll try it one more time. Turns the dial. All right. And you feel the ship start to vibrate a lot more and more, and you slowly feel it rise up off the ground. You hear the most painful sounding creaking of wood ever.
Oh god.
It is not a pretty thing to hear, but thankfully it looks like all of those planks that you nailed on the side of the ship have actually done their job. The ship is once again afloat, and you are on your way back to Acheron.
Thank God.
All right. If y'all need me, I'm gonna go clean up.
Why did we even come here?
You went to the city that was invaded by shades because that was the home base of the Sanctum. But then as you tried to get
we still haven't dealt with the shades yet.
We're away from them. I'm not gonna worry about it too much.
Well, you guys, you do have a choice here. You can either go back to Acheron and try to figure out another plan, or if you're feeling confident enough, you can return to the city.
I think we need a break.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that we need to go back to regroup, tell Wolfric about what happened, and then we can go back and we can deal with that.
Also bring some backup. He's
Can we get
calling
some
out from
fries
his
on our way?
wash up.
And this ship probably needs more repairs.
That too.
All right. So you guys make your way we're just gonna breeze through this. You make your way back to the city of Acheron. It takes about a day. I will allow another long rest. So Liam, you can regain that point of exhaustion, and you're once again in the clear. All of you are kind of in the clear. It's about midday the next day when you guys finally return to Acheron. Once again, the city is the same kind of hustle and bustle that you've all remembered it to be. That being said, though, something does seem a little bit different. There are less people seem to be out. You're not quite sure why, but there seems to be just an air of like Acheron is like the biggest city in this civilized territory. Like there is always something happening here. But for the first time, the buzz of the city seems weaker than usual. Like there are you still see people moving about from place to place, but everyone just seems much more like not so much in a rush.
Can I go up to a person and ask them? I don't want to ask them why everybody's so calm because I'm scared.
Well, they're not calm. They're just like the general energy of the entire city as a whole just seems lower than usual.
Well, yeah, I guess the only thing we can do right now is just ask, hey, what's going on?
I'll go and I'll ask what's going on.
I'll go with Davina to ask someone.
Okay, so the both of you kind of break away from the group and you walk up to this random lizard folk merchant who's just pushing a giant wheelbarrow of like all of these tanned hides. The lizard folk just kind of looks up to you a little bit confused, like, what's going on?
Did something happen?
He just kind of gives you all a weird look. Kind of looks behind you. You still have barely left the landing pad. You're still kind of in the port section of Acheron. He just goes, y'all just arrived?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Oh. Kind of gives you a look. Oh. You guys are Greyblades. You should probably get to your HQ. And he just kind of walks off.
Don't like that.
A little bit sad looking.
That's not good.
That can't be good.
I think we should head back as soon as we can.
Do all of you head back? Are you all in agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. You guys make your way through the city streets back into the massive city square, where right before you is the main palace of the king. To your left is the Church of Nord. And
Fuck you, Nord.
Fuck you, Nord. And then to your right is Greyblade headquarters. And already something is off about this place. The center of the city is always where all of the main activity of people coming and going are. Very rarely have you seen this place not have a lot of people in it. And as you get closer to the headquarters, you realize that the general population of the area starts to shrink more and more. And as you finally reach the front steps of headquarters, you realize that there are not a lot of Greyblades here.
Oh, that's a problem.
There are people still in the lobby. Some are just talking with each other. Some are looking at the jobs boards. You see Marianne.
Anne-Marie.
Yeah,
Anne-Marie, thank you. Anne-Marie at her desk, and just seeing her face, she just seems to have this cloud over her. And you all kind of realize this is the same cloud that's kind of over everyone here. Not only is there not a lot of Greyblades here, but a lot of the ones still remaining just seem kind of depressed. Kind of.
I guess I rush over to Anne-Marie immediately and say, Anne-Marie, what's happening? What's wrong?
She just kind of looks at you very shocked, and she just kind of scrambles from behind the counter. She just wraps you up in a big hug. And she goes oh, I'm so happy you're okay. Did you all just did you just arrive?
Yes, I'll explain the details later. It's a little hard to explain.
Then you didn't hear the news. Look, Master Volther can explain a lot better, but the Greyblades, everything, the king shut us down.
Oh my god.
It's just great.
That coming.
Marcus instantly bolts over towards the office. He doesn't need.
Okay, so Marcus breaks away from the party and just beelines it for the stairs.
Yeah, goes straight to Volthrick's office.
Well, at that point,
I follow after him.
Is Wolfric here?
Yeah.
And she like nods. He's just like, yes. He's still in his office. In fact, he hasn't left his office all day.
Davina, we're going to see Wolfric right now.
All right, that sounds like a plan.
Do all of you follow, or are some of you staying behind?
Marcus, are you coming with us?
I actually was the first to leave.
off.
Yeah, I was the first to go.
Are you heading to Wolfric?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, he was the first one to leave.
Yeah.
Book it.
All right. So all of you as a party just start like power walking as best as you can, like up the stairs, down the hall, to the giant office. The doors are already open. Like normally the doors are closed when you approach and then they open automatically. This time they are already open.
And I still knock on the wall to be polite. I'm like,
you see Volthric.
Somebody in there? Yeah.
You see Volthric sitting on the floor of the office. Not at his desk. He's sitting on the floor with his back against the desk, and he's just kind of hanging his head.
Arios just walks up and is like, hey, big guy, you doing okay?
Bad timing, Captain.
Hi, boss.
The giant silver armored Santa Claus. This guy's basically Reinhardt from Overwatch, size included. He just slowly like lifts up his head, and he just kind of looks at you all, and he just manages like the weakest of smiles before he just lets out a breath and just kind of goes back to hanging his head. There he goes. I assume you were told.
Yeah.
We're not okay.
Actually, we weren't told much. On your feet, Captain.
Anne-Marie told me.
And Marcus actually reaches a hand down. On your feet, Captain. Let's talk with honor.
Yeah, that's not gonna do much. Volthric's like literally twice your height.
I'm trying to be
you guys
nice.
are basically eye to eye right now with him just
Make
sitting
him do a strength check.
No. It's a formality. I know Marcus is
It is
to
a
pull him up.
formality, and
but I kind of want him to roll like a.
It's fine. I know. I already kind of know how this is gonna play out. Volthric just kind of looks over at Marcus, just tired look in his eyes, and he like takes his massive great sword, like puts it on the ground and like uses it to like get himself up on his feet, and like his movements are shaky.
You're not drunk, are you, Captain?
He just kind of gives Polo like this weird look of no.
Alright, just checking.
As he gets up, he then just walks over to the giant black casting couch that we've all made a joke about always in this campaign, and he just kind of like slumps down on that instead. He looks at you all and just goes, I take it that your mission to the city where the sanctum is held was a failure.
A failure. It was a major discovery.
Perhaps you should ask Miss Mistral whether it was a failure or not.
So, Mistral?
All jokes aside, give us the backstory, everything we need to know.
I don't know how they were able to find out, but apparently some eyes were upon you during your mission in that city. For anyone who's been a note taker, what is the name of that I had for this city?
It's in my other notebook that I ran out of. I think it was Lunas.
No, not Lunas.
Tristram.
Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Can we get a map? Can somebody draw a map, please?
Because archivist.
Trust me. The
That's
next.
why I
Oh,
remembered
that's
it.
yep.
That's why I remember.
The next homebrew I make, I am gonna be making a map. I'm gonna be using World Anvil. Apparently, there were some eyes that were upon you during your mission in Tristram. And they, while I do not blame you for your inability for being able to subdue whatever was plaguing that city, apparently the Sanctum used your apparent failure as proof enough that the Sanctum are the ones that should be in charge and not the Greyblades.
Oh,
Which makes zero sense considering the fact they're the ones that created the plague in the first place.
I was about to say.
I know that. You most likely know that. But there is yet to be any concrete evidence, and the king will not listen to me. Apparently, he now will only listen to the Grand Master. And because of this apparent failure, which again, I do not blame you, you went into Tristram completely blind, not knowing what to expect. But apparently, that was reason enough for them to now finally fully commit the royalty and all city resources to the Sanctum. And the Greyblades have been effectively disbanded for now. We are unable to take any more jobs, and any kind of missions that we undertake would henceforth be unsanctioned.
Well, it just so happened that the last job y'all took, I was a client for. Don't tell me y'all aren't gonna finish the contract.
Unfortunately, by the rules and laws of the city, since there is now no longer any organization that can fulfill the contract is henceforth null and void. If you all wish to continue with the non-existent contract, you're more than welcome to. Unfortunately, that would mean that you would not receive any support.
Do they know anything about the Green Orb?
We still have access to the airships.
There are rumors. Rumors that special members of the Greyblades hold something, but they do not know what that thing is or who has it. Pretty much all of the Greyblades have either decided to remain and just try to keep the peace as best they can. Many others have decided to not run, not walk away, but they want to make sure that their families and loved ones are safe in case anything were to happen. I assume you all saw how empty it was here now.
Yes.
Exactly. Many of our Greyblades have families that they care deeply about, but now that the Greyblades are disbanded, they have no source of income to support their families. And the king is completely at the behest of the Grand Master of the Sanctum. He will only listen to him now. And now all jobs go directly to the Sanctum.
What's going to happen to Anne-Marie?
That's rude.
Rude?
I want to know.
Oh my god.
I want to know what's going to happen to her as well.
Anne-Marie, we still have quite a few jobs left on that board, and thank the gods that the Sanctum were kind enough to let us have those. However, no new jobs will be coming in. So once that board is empty, that's it.
So we have until then to convince them that the Greyblades are a good thing.
If you can somehow convince the king or find some evidence that there was some form of foul play, that this was all some great machinations of the Sanctum to cripple our organization, you're more than welcome to. But if you were to do something like that, you will be going up against the royalty.
Yes. Davina, I admire your optimism and your sense of justice, I really do, but trying to convince them to keep the Greyblades alive is not our priority right now.
Okay, but...
That's true.
But what if it...
Aren't you the ones who have killed gods? What is a king?
I like where you're going with that.
Nobles hand is very powerful.
You quiver before the
I was about to
king,
say nobles
and
are
yet you stand
ruthless.
weapon in hand against gods?
Yes, gods that attack us out of nowhere. We can't attack a king.
Yeah, I was about to say one of the gods took over my dead husband. What if he
Arios
takes
did
over
that
the
too.
king?
Either way.
I don't
plan?
think Coco's ever heard that story, Davina.
Like, I get what you're saying of like, we can't just attack the king, and it's like they are literal deities.
Literal deities who attack us with no prior, like, aggravation. We're talking about attacking the king.
Here's the thing.
Arios, let Arios
stressed
speak.
over there.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know.
Why are we talking about attacking the king when it doesn't seem to be the king that's having the issue? It's the sanctum and the leader of the sanctum. So why are we talking about attacking the king when it's the sanctum that's the problem?
That's a good point, and I still stand by my statement of the Grand Master. Attacking the Grand Master is not going to accomplish anything at this point. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing we need to worry about right now is the gods.
Right now, when it comes down to it, the only thing we're going to be able to do to break this wide open is find the evidence. I came on board, I came to this headquarters as a lone investigator of this matter. I conscripted you all as supporting my investigation. Now, whether it's under Greyblade escorts or not, I'm going to continue this investigation. I will find the evidence. I will bring it to the king, and I will take the leader of the Sanctum's head myself if I have to. But here's the thing.
Jeez. Went from 0 to 60 to 10.
Myself! But first, I need to talk to you about...
I will destroy you all! But first, an ad about Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, but first, my sponsor.
I'm ready to do this alone if I have to, but I know we've all been through a lot. I know you all want to get to the bottom of this as much as I do. If I ask you all for help in continuing the investigation to find the truth and bring the truth out, without it being a contract, when it's all said and done, I would be in the Greyblade's debt. I would owe you if you would have helped me.
Question.
And by extension, helping the city.
Question. How many rocks am I getting out of this?
God damn it!
Mistral, I swear to God, I will get you all the nice, pretty rocks you want
With
if,
jam.
if we do this and jam. And
Everybody,
all the things.
hold on. I go into my satchel and I pull out a black opal. And I hand it to Mistral.
A black
Black
opal?
opal is pretty.
And I
it's
give
one of
it
the
to
most
Mistral
rare.
and I say, we will give you all the pretty rocks when this is over.
When this is over, I will take you to a place of just rocks.
credits now.
Of just rocks.
The rock has been accepted.
Sick. All right.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, we
Thank
need
you.
a plan. First things first, we can't be Greyblades anymore.
Welcome to my world, bruh.
I wasn't really that good at being a Greyblade in the first place, but
Darling,
I
you
am
were wonderful.
pretty. Oh,
Is this really the time for that?
So does this mean I can buy y'all a makeover, not y'all freelancers like I am?
I think that's exactly what it means. Master Wolfric, we can't even be Greyblades anymore, can we?
Yeah, we can.
I mean, we can, but we just won't have new jobs.
And everything.
I feel like if we weren't Greyblades, like if we can still help them, but if we didn't look like Greyblades, we might get farther in what we're doing.
It's not like we're going to have any of the advantages we had. We're being shut down.
Well, yeah, but if we don't look like Greyblades, like if we just...
We might have people helping us a little more if we don't look like Greyblades. Like, because people don't trust the Greyblades right now. So if we go up to people as Greyblades, they might not trust us. Whereas if we're not Greyblades, if I was hearing Davina right, then they might be willing to help us more.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too.
You just said it a whole lot more eloquently than I ever could, so I appreciate you.
That's what I was saying. I'm on team not Greyblades anymore.
All right.
So we're all freelancers now. You're joining my little freelancer gang.
Volthric looks at you as you all have this giant discussion amongst yourselves and then directed back towards your old boss.
Hey, technically you laid us off, or laid them off.
Yeah, we've become redundant.
Volthric just kind of chuckles a bit as he then gets up from his couch, looks at each of you. Then he actually looks down at his chest, and you actually now see on his chest, he too has a Greyblade badge, much like all of you. And if you all remember, the badge of the Greyblades kinda looks like the symbol of the Hand of the King from Game of Thrones. Like just a little gray metal fist holding a sword kind of at an angle. If you guys also remember the symbol of the organization that Hellboy is with in like the movies, it looks like that combined with the Hand of the King symbol.
Cool.
He just kind of looks at it, and then you actually see him like reach up with his massive gauntleted hand, and he yanks off the symbol off of his breastplate, and he just kind of looks at it for a moment.
Badass.
Well, it doesn't like scratch his armor. It looks like he found a way to have it like magnetized on his armor.
It's stuck on there with magic.
A wizard did it.
I mean, what about magnets? You can't explain that.
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly's somewhere having a seizure.
So Volthric, welcome to the private sector.
He looks at his symbol and then he like tucks it away in like somewhere like behind his back underneath his cloak. And he goes like, I'm never going to forget the Greyblades. And if this all works out, then perhaps the king will see fit to reinstate us, because without the Sanctum, who else would be here to defend everyone from the forces of the outside? You kind of see him stand a little bit taller for a moment, and then he returns over to his desk and he sits down there, setting his sword down, kind of leaning against the desk. Right now the king only has ears for the Grand Master. I know for a fact that he will not listen to anything that anyone else would have to say. Either the king has been bewitched or has been fooled in some way. I do not know. But for some reason, someone followed you to Tristram and watched.
Fucking banjo.
I was playing the banjo.
I love it.
Fantastic, Mr.
Who
Fox.
are you? Get out of here! What are you doing?
Why does this kind of remind me of the fun song from SpongeBob?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's for friends who do stuff together. No!
F is for fire!
F is for fire.
Okay. Volthric is just thinking deeply for a moment. Somewhere there is evidence. There simply has to be that the Sanctum knew that you were going to go to Tristram, that they knew that you were going to run into whatever it was that you saw there. Which means that with the amount of time it took for them to be able to relay that information back to Akron, it was much too fast. Almost as if they were expecting you all to fail in that mission.
Set up.
So,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If you can somehow prove that they were aware, then it may not be enough to... The Hemington says sad French music. Actually, this is fitting. This is fitting for the scene. If you were to find this evidence, it may not prove our case, but it might shed some doubt on the Sanctum, which then could give us the opportunity we need to be able to speak to the king. Now, I know not where this information might be. One might say it's where the Sanctum is held up, but that's at the palace itself. So to enter the palace, you will run the risk of incurring the king's wrath. But then again, you don't have to be Greyblades when you do that.
No, we don't.
And Davina, do you still have the thing that the king gave you?
Yes, I do. I do still have. It was a coin, yeah.
It's like
Or
a
was it-
talisman, I think.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, it was a talisman, and I have
Yeah.
that in my fucking notes. Why didn't I look at that? But yes, I do still have the talisman.
Count Adamar,
Yeah.
I
Talk to
believe
me.
it is time for us all to get that makeover that you were telling us about.
Make
Alright.
over. It's a makey makeover.
I think it is. I think Lady Davina is going to have to make us all nobles.
Nobles, armed, dangerous, walking right into the palace.
Wait, I look at Arios because of our conversation earlier, and I say, "Are you okay with that?"
Music.
Pretty fitting music, actually, for what we're doing right now.
Gonna have to be?
Carly, I sent you a DM.
All right.
Oh no.
Oh,
What
not
is
even getting
happening?
that.
What is happening? What is happening?
Alright. At the very least, we gotta get him to the palace, so. Oh, God.
What? What?
We're
Speak.
gonna see Gary.
Oh.
My buddy.
Yes!
Wow.
Let's go! Get fabulous!
Yeah, fabulous.
Shall we? Like, are we waiting for any more information, or shall we?
Let's
No,
go.
that's a good.
So-
No, and Volthric's been standing there the entire time, like, no, that's actually a very good plan. Go, go.
Yeah.
Coco.
I pull before we leave. Well, as everybody leaves, I pull Coco to the side
Oh, okay.
and I say, "Listen, I'm
Yeah.
planning something in the coming months, and I'm gonna need your help.
Oh, how may I be of assistance?
No one else is around me, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm pulling everyone.
Evan?
I'm pulling everyone.
Davina, make a perception check.
Cool.
Well, I was gonna
Okay.
have a
Arios is getting like pulled by the ear by
Perception check.
Perception.
I got 16.
Yeah, literally everyone else is still in the room, but Count Marcus is just about to, like, yank everyone out.
I wait.
Well, I was
I
gonna
wait
go see Anne
patiently.
Marie.
I wanted to have
Aw.
a conversation with Vogel. Wow. Wow!
No! No, not Vogel!
No! No!
There's two V's. Leave me alone. I was gonna want to have a conversation with Volthric.
Volthric looks to you and goes, Master Eden, step outside with me.
I put my arm around Coco and I said, "Let's take a walk." And we walk away.
Mr. Apollo, Atarax.
From the books I have read,
Yes.
this cannot end well.
Oh, it's gonna end well.
I'm gonna go see Anne Marie.
All right. So, so everyone's kind of splitting off to do their own things. We're going to first focus on Eden and Volthric here.
Okay.
I was. All right.
So, after everyone has left, you are once again sitting before Volthric, the the High Commander of the Greyblades, and he just kind of looks at you inquisitively. Master Eden, is something the matter?
Well, yes.
Oh yeah.
Here's a lot. I believe I found my sister.
I'm sorry. What did you find?
My sister. This is why I joined. To find her. And only her.
Has Eden told Volthric about his sister before?
No! So this is new.
Oh.
Technically new for him.
Who is your sister?
She is a I gave him the description of Phoenix, and obviously I am so proud of her gushy older sibling way.
Aww.
So cute.
Phoenix.
Persona. Sorry.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Arizona.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Mesa.
How dare you?
Phoenix. And that's when he like, you hear him like pull something out of his desk, and he pulls out this giant book, and he like flips open the cover a couple pages. Phoenix is your sister? Then I guess this must be destiny then. And he shuts the book in front of you. No, it's more like a boom. Like, this book's big. Like, okay, imagine how big Volthric is. The size of this book, to him, is like a D&D book. Which makes it absolutely massive to someone of your size. Volthric looks to you, Eden, and he actually smiles a little bit, rather kind of like a whimsical smile.
Dog face.
This is rather interesting indeed. It's not often that I have siblings become Greyblades in my organization.
She was part of this?
Oh, shit.
Master Eden, Phoenix was one of the finest warriors I've ever seen.
Oh. She ruined the role that she wanted to.
Oh, when she joined up, she just buried herself in work, constantly striving to do as many jobs as she could, constantly wanting to help others. She did a lot of volunteer work without any pay. She was here more to make a name for herself and not here to make any gold. She was truly a wonderful member.
Love with her, weren't you?
What?
No, I'm just thinking Volfric was in love with her, wasn't he?
No.
Okay.
No, he would break her.
And Phoenix don't swing that way.
Now, we don't have time to unpack all of that.
However, as he's gushing about Phoenix, you actually see his mood go somber. And he just says, "It's just a terrible shame what happened. Eden, I am very sorry."
What happened? And this is like a tone that Eden doesn't take with Volfric of you can't tell if it's pissed or like worried.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, so this is my sister kind of tone. I will fuck you up.
Your sister and her team decided to take on a mission that took her deep into unknown territory. And we never saw her after that. We've sent many scouts and others to her last known location, but they either found nothing or some squads never returned. But something happened. We just, all these years, don't know what happened.
Who was part of her team?
He looks, he kind of opens the book back up, and he's just kind of reading off some names. Let's see. They were known as Group Epsilon. They had a lizard folk, an Arakakwa. They actually had a Yuan Ti on their team. It's very rare to see their kind. And they even had a red dragonborn of their own. But unfortunately, nothing was ever recovered.
Was there any specifics that they needed to do?
Can you speak up, please, Kira? I cannot hear you.
Yeah. Was there any specifics that was detailed within their mission?
It was purely just a scouting mission. Like, try to expand our knowledge of the environment and just scout out what was previously known as unknown territory. We can never really do much scouting or cartography due to the obvious hostile wildlife. So the gathering of that information has been very slow going. She and her team of Epsilon decided to volunteer on a scouting mission, acting as bodyguards for the cartographers. And that was the last we saw of them. And that's when he, like, leans in, and now he's looking at you very hard. And he just goes, "But you just said that you found her. How is that possible?"
In a manner of speaking, I found her. She found me, technically.
How? Was she alive? Was she alright?
No, I think she's dead. Is why I think we were set up by. Brain, work. Oh my god.
You're all good,
Thanks,
girl.
There we go.
You're fine.
That's why I think we were set up by this thing. We went there into Tristram. We found the Greyblades that were part of Tristram, but most of them were comatose. And Shades attacked us. Shades, I should add, that had been plaguing my nightmares. Apparently, my sister is Shade. I think.
What did these shades look like, specifically?
I have paper. I can, like, draw them for them.
Okay, you basically just draw like a black shadowy outline. They're very simple.
Yeah.
Kind of looks at her for a moment. Kind of looks at the picture. Like, he's holding it very tiny in, like, his giant fingers. like it's a normal 8x11 sheet of paper, but to him it's like trading card sized.
You need glasses to read said paper.
Yeah, he, like, pulls out some very, like, nearsighted glasses. Like, I've heard rumors about shadow creatures such as these. It must be more than coincidence when these rumors popped up when the Sanctum started to make themselves a little more well-known. Wait. But you said you started having these nightmares before.
Yes.
You might want to remember that, because something tells me that your sister might be something else.
I'm worried that she's actually dead.
Well, if you continue to seek her out, that is your mission, and I will not stand in your way.
Thank you.
You should return to your crewmates. I'm sure they're all taking care of their business. That being said, though, we are now going to take the cameras away from Eden, and we are going to instead focus on Polo and Anne-Marie.
My turn.
Yeah.
You see Anne-Marie, who seems to be... well, actually, no, you don't see Anne-Marie. It seems like in all of the time that you have spent talking to Volthric, Anne-Marie is no longer at the reception desk. Instead, it is, why can I never remember the name that I gave this guy? But the blue tabaxi who like handles
you said his name was, I want to say
it was either we said
There's something simple.
It was Ziggy because of my cats.
Yeah.
Gilligan is the orange one. There's an orange tabaxi, and its name is Gilligan. But I want to say that we actually, because
I'm getting Carl, and I don't
Carl,
know
it is
why.
Carl.
Yes, it was Carl because I remember Carl.
Yeah, it's like that is just sticking out to me and yelling at me.
You see Carl, the blue tabaxi. Oh my god.
It's Carl, the blue tabaxi.
You see Carl, just standing at his position at the desk, very formal, despite the obvious atmosphere. He seems to be taking this very professionally. And he goes, Master Polo, how may I be of service?
I was wondering where Anne-Marie is.
Oh. You might want to try upstairs on the mezzanine.
Alright. Hey, before I go, are you going to be alright?
I have another job lined up, should this one fail. Because I always have a backup plan. And Maria, however, is taking this rather hard, so I think it might be good for you to be with her.
Agreed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Polo, you move up to the mezzanine. I would like you to make a perception check.
Shit. All right. Perception. 3.
You are looking around. You do not see You know what? Screw it. It was mean of me to do a perception check. I should have read the room. I'm sorry. That doesn't work. You look around, and it is like frightfully empty in this place. You only see like the bar. You only see like 2 waitresses, maybe a couple gray blades that are just kind of sitting at the table, kind of nursing their feelings. And you see familiar pink pigtails, head down, slumped at the bar.
Oh, honey.
All right. This is going to be an interesting scene. I approach her cautiously.
She doesn't seem to react, but as you get closer, you hear the occasional.
She's drunk.
Anne, it's me. Are you all right?
You just see her like slowly lift up her head, and she just like in the span of like the half hour that you stopped talking with her and left to go see Volthric, she got hammered. Like she looks.
But she's a halfling. Can't she handle it?
She drank a lot, man.
She's been drinking a lot.
Alright.
Aren't the dwarves the heavyweights and the halflings the lightweights?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know. But yeah, she just looks absolutely drunk. Her hair is frazzled, and her mascara is like staining her face. If you didn't know any better, you would think that she looks like a corrupted animal with those black tear stains. But no, it's just mascara. And she just kind of looks at you like and just like buries her face in your chest.
I guess I pet her head and I say it's going to be all right.
She's like you can hear her muffled sobbing like in your chest of your tunic. And then you just hear and she just kind of like pulls her head away. There's like a string of drool connecting her mouth to your tunic, and she's like, I'm sorry.
That's the point. I think that's the point.
God. Oh my god.
He was like, I've always been with the Grey Blades ever since my sister joined, and now they're not gonna be here anymore, and she is just like a mess.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to be like a monk somewhere else now, and there's not anyone hiring who wants to have a monk that looks like me. And then she is going to.
I am monk, darling.
And then she is going to. Oh shit!
What did you roll?
I can't handle this. And then like she reaches over the tavern bar.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Grabs a knife.
What
and
the
she
fuck?
like
No, whoa!
She like grabs one of her pigtails and she's about to like cut it off.
All right, I grab the knife.
And she just kind of looks at you like wondering, like more confused, like why are you stopping me from doing this?
Oh my god.
Well, for one thing, darling, I thought you were about to kill yourself.
She goes like, even in her drunken state, she's like, what? No.
Well, I'm sorry, but you are the one who grabbed the knife, and then I slammed the knife on the bar. So.
And then she just kind of looks at you, going, I don't feel so good.
Oh god.
Oh
no. Is there a bucket nearby?
The dwarven bar wench, who has been watching this entire exchange while just like cleaning a glass, just kind of takes a bucket and just hands it to you.
Thank you. And then I hand it to her.
As if on cue, she grabs it and you just hear...
Oh dear.
The Hemington says, "Step back, Polo, and hold her hair."
Yeah.
I want to say grab
I'll do that. I'll do
Put
that.
the pigtails up.
Meanwhile, floors above, Volthric is in his office going, "Is there a dragon around here?"
There's a dragon born.
We'll get to that.
We will get to that. So Polo, you are tending to Anne Marie.
Okay.
We're now gonna move the camera away from you for a bit.
All right. That accomplished a lot. Okay.
It did. It shows that you are a caring man.
I'm a good boyfriend. God.
Boyfriend material.
Hey, to everybody watching at home, get you a polo.
Get you a polo who's willing to hold your hair when you have reached your lowest point.
Just to get you a bird who will actually like listen to you when you say pull over now and you throw up in the middle of the road.
Do it, yes. Anywho,
yes.
We are now going to move over to Davina and Coco.
Okay.
Davina and Coco, you are, while everyone else seems to have either exited the headquarters completely, Polo is at the mezzanine tending to his waifu. And Eden is... I made a waifu, let's be honest here.
Yeah,
Eden is still somewhat having a discussion with Volthric. Davina and Coco, what are you guys doing?
I take Coco to my room. And I'm like, wait, you and I gotta talk. And I'm like, you haven't been with us for very long. And that's okay. Do you have any questions or anything, or? Don't worry, this is a safe space. I'm not angry with you. I'm gonna.
I have just learned to not question things.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you, and I just kind of briefly give him like a TLDR of what he has missed being on this team.
Okay, so Coco.
That's why there's that new statue in the courtyard.
Mm-hmm. With flowers on his hair, or sometimes there's like cute little string around him.
Are you guys talking about Sterling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, when the lab isn't working to try to regenerate him, yeah, they just kind of put him they use the courtyard as makeshift storage of his body.
Why didn't they just bury him?
Because
he's alive.
He's just petrified. He's not technically dead. Unless you like shatter him.
The final episode of Song of the Wilds, they finally bury Sterling
like it's the post-credit scene, and he's like, "I'm alive again." Where is everybody?
What did I miss? Huh? Did I miss anything? How long was I out?
All right. Yeah, so that is why. But as you can imagine, we're all kind of a family. And we'd like you to be part of that too.
Am I being adopted?
Yeah, pretty much. But I have a question for you. So, from my story, you can probably tell that me and Arios are pretty close.
I never would have thought.
Yeah, I know.
I don't experience romantic feelings.
But I have a question for you. And I pull out
Yes, I will be your best man.
that kind of goes into the question I was going to ask you. And I pull out a purple amethyst. And I ask, can I ask you to make me a ring for him?
Consider it done.
Awesome. I will pay you whatever you want. No, I'm gonna.
He takes the amethyst. No. And he like opens up his solitaire cavity, but like holds the cards in and like puts the amethyst in with the
Basically, Coco is built like Bender from Futurama, where he just opens up his entire chest and there's just nothing there. It's just like a storage space.
No, I'm saying you don't really have to do this in any amount of time. We got plenty of time, but with what I think is about to happen, I didn't know when I would get a chance to ask you this again.
Well, I am honored.
Thank you.
All
and
right.
again, Coco, and I just kind of pat
So you
him.
really have like killed like 3 gods. That just like
We don't know if they're actually dead, is that whole issue.
They just
yeah, but like
evaporated in front of us.
the message is still sent. Like
Yeah, we're pretty awesome.
All the modesty, Davina. All the modesty,
I'm
just.
so humble as well.
Don't be too modest. I mean,
They were little gods.
little
They're
G
above
guys.
demigod.
Little
They're,
G.
they're low tier, but
It's like
start.
Ego, the living planet. Are you a god? Small G. And he's humble.
But yeah, we just, I know that you probably have a lot of questions because we talk about a lot of things that probably don't make that much sense to you, but I just wanted to kind of fill you in.
Yeah, no, that clears up a lot.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm happy we had this talk. Did you want to go meet the others?
Yes.
Awesome.
All
and
right.
we leave the room.
So with that, we are now going to move the camera away from Davina and Coco. All that's left is Marcus, Mistral, and Arios, and Atarax. What are you four doing?
I think Arios is jamming out to his own music in his head.
Oh, no. Arios has his flute and everything, and he's like just jamming away.
Okay, so Arios, you are in your room, and you're taking this moment to just kind of more mentally recover from everything instead of just physically recover. You're feeling great. You're feeling spry. It's been a while since you've been like back home in Acheron with the rest of the Greyblades. And you just are filled with determination, like, yes, our last mission may not have gone
You're
so well,
filled with
but this next
determination.
one...
Would you like to save?
Would you like to save the game?
This basically is a save point. Let's be honest here.
And what is Mistral doing?
Mistral is outside, and she's just like writing in her book, as she does periodically. She's writing in a book.
Okay, Mistral, you are out in the courtyard. It is not raining, but it is a rather overcast day in Acheron, so you don't have much light, but enough for you to be able to see your own writing. Are you just writing the entire time?
Yes.
All right. Atarax, what are you doing?
If I go downstairs, do I see Polo and Anne-Marie talking, and then do I see her get sick?
Okay,
do my fat senses tingle?
So from where you're standing, Atarax, you walk down the stairs, and around the time that you round that corner and you look in the mezzanine tavern, you see the exact moment where Anne-Marie, is, looking at Polo, and then she turns to the bucket, and just very far off you hear, "Ugh."
Oh, that's no good. I'll walk over and I'll nudge Polo and I'll be like, can I kind of help here? You want a hand with this?
I don't know how you can help.
Lesser restoration.
Atarax twiddles his fingers, and little blue sparkles shoot out of his hands, and they fly around Anne-Marie's head. And then you actually see the mascara that was pouring down her cheeks slowly go back up her cheeks, right into her eyes.
Bibbity bib, bibbity bon, now your alcohol is all gone.
Exactly, that is exactly what happened. And also, wow, that was flawless.
Thank you.
Anne-Marie just kind of looks up, just kind of disoriented for a moment, looks over at Polo, then looks over at Atarax, and...
Are you alright?
Then she just kind of looks over at Polo, and she's not drunk anymore, but then she starts, crying again.
Oh.
But it's not but it's not sobbing. She's not ugly crying. It's very soft crying as she's just holding you close.
I slap Polo on the back. I'm like, you got this from here, buddy. And I walk off.
Thank you.
And all yours.
Atarax, best wingman.
He has wings.
And
He's a literal wingman.
And lastly, Count Marcus, what are you doing?
Looking for another rock.
Roll me roll me a perception check.
16 plus 24.
Oh, 24 is your total.
16. Yeah, 24, yeah.
I thought you said 16 plus 24.
No,
what
yeah,
the hell,
16,
man?
yeah,
That's
sorry.
your modifier?
No. It's a better liar than a looker, but he's got a decent look. Oh, yeah, 24.
Okay, Count Marcus, you are just looking around. You find yourself in the courtyard as well. You don't find anything there. You walk out of the headquarters and you're just kind of scouring the ground. There are very few spots in Acheron where you see a lot of artificially made dirt plots with trees growing out of them.
Mm-hmm.
This, just to give you an all idea, Acheron is a completely artificial city. Everything, even the roads that you walk on, are made of metal.
Oh, wow, okay.
However, you find yourself walking around the city, and you find yourself in the industrial area, and you actually find yourself walking past one of the giant warehouses where apparently they refine and they break a lot of coal. And there's this chute where you see all of the rejected coal get all disposed of, and they just make this very ugly pile. And you realize you go through the coal and you see something sparkling in there, and you pull it out. It's an uncut diamond. This is a naturally made diamond. It's completely uncut, but you can just look at this and you know what it is. It's about
rock.
It's a rock.
This might be shit. This might be overkill for what I had in mind, but okay.
But yeah, the rock itself is about the exact size and shape of a D8. Like, this is what it kind of looks like right here.
Jesus. Okay. Oh, you know, I'm gonna use Kira's dice for this one since it's translucent. All right. Okay, so as Marcus heads back to headquarters, he pulls out something in his kit, either water, flask of whiskey, whatever, starts cleaning the damn thing the best he can. And as he finds Mistral in the courtyard, he actually walks up over to her. Gently at first, be like, because he didn't want to interrupt her notebooking. Hey, how you holding up right now?
I'm
you said that, Mistral. Yes, you're here. Hey, well, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a total narcissist, but when you wore my armor, it actually did look cute. So when we do this whole dress up like nobles makeover thing that Polo was talking about, do you mind if I buy you a dress that looks like my armor, the black platinum trim? Something of course of your style.
Hey yo girl, why don't you let me buy you a dress?
Yeah, some of course that fits your style, fits your sensibilities, of course, but the black on platinum did look pretty good on you, and I think this might be a good cap off.
And Mistral, before your eyes, you see a rock. It's a very nice looking rock. He took the time to clean it.
It's a pretty rock.
Let me buy you a dress and give you a rock.
Panic ensues. The internal panic.
If this was way too forward and too brash, I apologize, but
it's a pretty rock.
Michelle's having flashbacks to when Eden had to hold her hand because reasons.
No pressure about the dress. No big deal. But
I mean,
the rock.
Is there a story you're trying to tell here with our outfits?
I wish there was, but really it was just
keep this music. Keep this music.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but I mean, like, we have to have a story. I mean, if we're going in, like, you know, it's a pretty rock.
The rock is yours either way.
Ah, great.
I said no pressure. I said I happened to have found it, and I knew you were kind of an aficionado of such things. And considering all the bullshit we went through between the fucking sanctum, what the fucking sanctum left behind, and God knows what the fuck we just took out on the way back, you know? Like I said, either way, the rock's yours.
She was talking to her griffin for like a hot second.
Yeah, Count Marcus, you kind of look to the side, and there's a giant black flaming griffin just kind of lying down on the ground, just looking at you, and just with there's no actions or expressions, but yet you just feel this air of sup from the griffin.
Where is the griffin, Susie?
Oh, he's right here. He sits next to me.
Like the griffin's just kind of like sitting on the ground like this, and it just does this.
Little griffin. Wait, hold on. Just imagine like really big.
So. You also have a big bird too, so figure.
I have a big bird. It also can be a really tiny bird, like this big. I mean, I do like rocks and I do like outfits. I mean, I thought Davina would dress me, but I mean,
I can later. I thought we were all gonna go out together.
But Cal Marcus has a good rock in his hand and offered a very
I gave
nice
you a
outfit.
black opal. That's worth 1,000 gold.
Yeah, but you're not in the room.
Is actually way more rare than diamonds are.
But you don't know.
Mistral's like, you don't know what's going on. Just...
I know I don't, but I'm not talking as Davina. I'm talking as Carly.
Someone gave me an opal, and someone gave me a diamond. Who would you allow to dress me?
High or low?
Marcus sets the diamond down. It was just an idea either way. No big deal.
I mean, like.
I mean, I don't care. I just thought that was gonna be a scene that we all were gonna do together.
But what colors?
I think
what
we
colors?
We are.
Wait.
I think Marcus just wants to buy it for her.
Oh, I don't care about that. Yeah,
okay.
Okay, that's what it is.
I misunderstood.
We're all still shopping together. It's just like who pays for
what
Mr.
colors?
Frost.
What colors did you say it was again?
Black and platinum trim. It's basically his armor.
Platinum trim.
Yeah, turned into a dress.
Mr. Griffin likes black, so he picked that one.
Excellent. It's a good color. It's imposing color. It shows power. You know a lot about that, right, Mr. Griffin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Game respects game.
All of a sudden, Marcus and the Griffin with his giant like eagle claw for a hand, they do like a boom.
I just thought despite you wearing my armor and it being armor, I thought the colors looked good on you, so there you go.
Thanks. It's an avocado. Thanks.
That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite YouTube videos on the planet.
Dying, goodbye.
Breathe.
You got a diamond. Do you see this? Do you see it? It's a diamond.
You go have fun with that. I'll go round up the others. I'll be back.
Okay. I'll be looking at my new rocks. I got new rocks today. You see this
That'll
one?
shut her up.
You see this one? And then there's this one. You see these? These are the new ones. I have nice friends. They got me rocks.
With that all said and done, the party takes a good solid afternoon to mentally recover from everything, though it looks like they jumped from one problem into the next one. However, when we return to the party, they will hopefully have a plan on what to do against the Sanctum, because we are ending the session tonight here.
Wait a minute, are we gonna go from a building episode to a shopping episode?
Yes.
Yes.
Before we get into fighting again?
Which means this will be the first time that both Coco and Marcus get to meet Gary.
Ah!
Gary!
This will be fun.
Gary's my favorite snail.
Gary's my favorite character. Fun fact for you guys in this entire campaign.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching our Twitch stream here. We all love Dungeons and Dragons, and I love being a dungeon master. Once again, just to reiterate, there will be no session next weekend. We're gonna use that for a break time, but then we'll see if we're able to. Whoa!
Words are hard.
Words.
But we will see if we will try to be able to play not next weekend, but the week after next. But just stay tuned to the Song of the Wild's official Instagram, where the majority of our notes are posted. That all said, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Good night.